a second ago.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the first. Oh my gosh, there's so many people in our chat already. This is amazing. Welcome to our first D&D session, our first campaign. We are Rage Crits. I figured for the first couple minutes, what we could do is just kind of tell you who we each are, what we're playing, and our experience levels, so you guys can kind of get a feel for us. Hayden, if you want to start, give a little wave.
Well, this is really exciting, honestly, to be on a stream, and as you can tell, I'm the DM of this campaign, and I got a lot of really great players here with really cool backstories and all sorts of things going on. I am really hopeful that this will really grow into something that will strive as a community, and I am just really happy to be here. Got about a year or two's worth of D&D experience on my belt, and I hope everybody will have just a really good time being here, and that's all I got to say. You guys will find that I'm a little more talkative once I get into the D&D roleplay, and I should probably look at my camera more often. Let's go on to roll D4, everybody, D5 really, but everybody call a number, and we'll go with whoever is that number, and they will be the first to represent themselves.
I got a 1.
Okay.
I got a 4.
3.
I guess I'll just do
3.
2.
I got a 1.
1, friends.
Okay. It's floating, it's all, but yeah, whoever wants to go first, because I completely messed up what I was trying to convey. Let's get started.
Why don't you take over?
Please
Okay.
do.
Hi, everyone. I'm SJ. I am moderately experienced. I've been playing for like 2 years now, and I decided to play a druid I decided to play a druid for this campaign, so that's what I will be doing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Jade. I'm going to be playing a sorceress in this campaign. I'm also a moderate player. SJ and I played a couple other campaigns together. So sometimes we love each other, sometimes we hate each other. I'm really just excited to see where this goes. I really hope this can kind of be an experience for everyone to kind of pick someone that they relate to. Anyone of any skill level can hop into the stream and be able to pick it up really quickly. And most of all, I just want us to have a lot of fun with it. So I hope you guys have as much fun watching us as we have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Will?
Hi.
Hi, Will.
Oh.
It's all good. It's all good. If you do any better than me, you're doing great.
So far, it's not going terribly well. Yeah. Hi, I'm Will. I say I'm moderately experienced as well. It's about my 3rd year or so playing in 5e. I came over from playing Pathfinder. And yeah, I run 2 games on the weekends, and hopefully my character doesn't die within the first 5 seconds, but you never know.
Yeah, just roll a D1 and we'll see.
Wait a second.
That's great. All right, I'll go. My name's Chris. I've been playing for about 6 years now. I have been stuck in Forever DM land for the past 4. I'm just excited to be a player again. If you've ever been there, you know. I'm playing a half-elf Path of the Beast Barbarian. It'd be fun to try out a new class.
Wait, am I next?
Yes, you're next.
Okay.
Last but not least.
My name is I go by Sushi, but I've mainly played D&D on like what's it called? Neverwinter, and mainly with like a bunch of friends. This is actually the first time I played a bard. Usually I play either a rogue or like a warrior type class or archer. So I'm actually pretty excited for this because bards seem kind of cool.
All right. Well, so that's everybody. I hope you guys follow along and have a great time with us, and we hope to see you there. Hayden, take us into our new land.
All right, so we're all prepared then.
I think so.
Now, this is going to be our first episode, so let's expect some bumps.
Adventurers Unite is what I titled it.
Nice.
Oh,
All right. We start off on a relatively cold night. It's not snow, it's not sleet. It's the spray of water coming from a roaring waterfall just in front of all of you. A bridge is parallel to this waterfall, and another bridge by across it, heading into the waterfall, as if there's something beyond its liquid curtain. As you peer here, for whatever reason you are here, whether it's fortune, favor, fancy, if it's chance, challenge, change, you all felt a pull to come here. And it's today that 5 paths become one. You witness each other coming towards the entrance to this waterfall, heavily elevated along a large canyon. The fauna is everywhere. Overgrown, clearly this place has been long abandoned. If you look closely, there are pots of roaring fire, but they're very tiny, scattered about like candles from a massive, awesome size. But there's one statue covered in moss and fungus that points directly towards the waterfall, and a series of small yellow lights swirl around it before extending off the fingertip and moving behind the curtains of deep blue. And that is where we're going to begin the session. The floor is yours.
okay. Can I make a perception check to see what's up
First
with this
roll of the
waterfall?
game.
Okay, cool. This is how it always goes with my other campaign. I always roll like a nat one, but this is going to be
Let's see
fine.
how
You're
this-
gonna set the tone.
Please don't say that. That is a 12. That's not terrible.
A total of 12?
Yes.
What exactly are you looking for?
I'm just looking to see, like, on the statue, if there's like a plaque or a sign or anything that kind of explains what it is and kind of what it's pointing at.
You're a little more distracted by the sudden figures around the area, these other 4. So you peer at it, but you don't see any immediate writing or signature or anything that would indicate that there's an emblem or something to be worth recognizing. Just these almost shadowy figures in front of you, although the light emanating off the statues is giving them a colorful glow, as if friendly faces have greeted you.
I want to investigate the statues.
Okay. What are you doing as this individual, a human, studies the statue further?
I'm gonna just like wave to everyone and be like, "Hi guys."
You are, everybody else seeing towards you is a very friendly, very eager, what appears to be, to those who can recognize, an air genasi. And everybody else seems to be, well, human or half-elf, or one individual who's a tiefling. How do you react to what's happening? Also, make an investigation check for studying the statue further.
21. for my first roll of the day. Investigation's a +6, so.
You can definitely recognize an arcane nature to this statue as you peer at it. It seems as though the moss growing around it and the cracks are intentional, as if they were built this very way. It had never had a proper form, but it was clearly not built by mortal hands. As it lays embedded in the earth, the grass growing over it, you can tell that this statue acts as a guide to those who find this waterfall. And you have a feeling that the guidance is giving you comes once every 100 years.
Oh.
Based off the arcane runes you see sketched into its arms.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna hear this shadowy figure shout out, "Hey guys," and I'm gonna pull a dagger out and shout, "Who goes there?" Not like it's not menacing, but it's like a hey, if you come closer, you're gonna see that I have it. I'm not gonna fuck around right now.
This individual pulls a dagger on all of you, not as a group, but for whoever approaches first.
Like, hold up.
Yeah. As all of this was happening, everyone would see step forward about a 6 foot tall, obviously mixed lineage, half elf man with drow descent over it, ragged right ear, calm face overall, wearing a high collared, kind of banded collared, well-made shirt that kind of jacket that flares at the waist, no sleeves. The arms would be heavily scarred, left arm covered in tattoos. And actually, before the knife was pulled, I was simply going to ask to look around to see if I noticed any threats, but someone pulled a knife.
With your passive insight, you could definitely tell that there weren't any immediate threats, at least as far as you could tell, unless this was a very well done ambush. You're starting to think that this is just chance and fortune that has brought you all together, and a roll of the die, per se.
I don't know that there's a need for the knife. My name's Ren. Really, you can put that down.
How can I be sure to trust you, Ren? I'm gonna say it like I don't believe it's your name. How did you come to be at this place?
I'm not really sure. I don't.
Now you think about it. All I remember is walking through the woods, trying to get to the town of Kepjar, the capital of Majde. And you remember a slight fog, not as if it came around you, but coming over your eyes. Before you awoke, walking through the trees and heard the rushing of the water coming down from a large cliff. You don't know how you got here. And none of you do.
Stranger things have happened. You don't know you can trust me, but you can watch me stand here and stare at you.
I'm gonna kind of like squint at you. Like, I suppose the memory loss is something that we share in common then.
Yeah. And you are?
Unsure of whether or not to kill you. You may call me Saya.
Well met, Saya.
Well met. For now.
That sounds right.
She's just been standing here watching all this happen, and she's just like, wow, people are weird.
You do notice this, Janaji kind of like been up and down on her toes and on her heels a little bit. More curious than apprehensive.
She's kind of small. She's like 5'3", 5'3", 5'2". She has silver hair and darker skin, and she wears like very flowy robes over like a pair of flowy pants as well. And she has one hand on a scimitar at her waist, though she is bumping up and down curiously.
And you are?
The name's Aisling.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you too.
How come you to this place, Aisling?
You know, I don't really remember. The fog brought me here, I think. So I guess I just trust the fog then.
Sure.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of like look at Rin and be like,
Stranger things. You gentlemen, who would you be?
Hey, Kate. That's what most people call me. Granted, how I got here, no idea. I prefer spending time in the forest, so I feel like it natural that I end up here. Granted, why you guys are here, whole nother question.
Yes, I do believe I made a wrong turn somewhere in the road. But apologies. My name is Frere Carzium, and he will give like a bow to everyone.
Aisling will bow back.
I'm wearing a skirt, so I'm just gonna kind of like pick up one half of it and do like a half curtsy, but like while eyeing everybody very suspiciously.
It would seem as though curiosity and apprehensiveness and a sense of almost a figure. This Farkar. I'm sorry, I'm going to mess it up a few times.
It's all good.
Anyone with a passive wisdom of 11 or higher can definitely tell this individual was not brought here so much by Destiny Fog, so much as, much like Bugs Bunny, I should have turned left at Albuquerque.
What's up, Doc?
Just gonna call you Mr. Bunny from now on.
Oh no. No, that's a DM's thing. You're all having the same thought. You can't. No, you can't give nicknames because of DM things. All right, let's continue. What is everybody doing now that they see a bridge just straight into this waterfall canopy?
I'm gonna put my dagger back on my like little hip, back in it, and kind of like look around me and go, well, it appears that's the way to go. And then I'm just gonna kind of like start going, and like very carefully testing to see that this bridge will hold my weight.
You do believe this bridge is relatively stable. It does appear to be made of a strong stone of sorts with wooden planks, although all of it looks the same color and texture if you were to just give a glance at it.
Cool.
And you can tell there's also, probably should mention this, just very large stones that have been hitting the bridge now and then actually bouncing off or rolling off in unnatural patterns. And you notice that the bridge hardly breaks, as if like small dents are repairing when you look away for a quick second.
Great. Beware falling rocks.
That's accurate. They're about as dangerous as hail, but hail can be dangerous. Who's the first to approach, if you approach at all?
I am. I'm 100% like ready to go down that way and like trepidatiously like step on each plank one at a time, while also like being very cautious of A, the people that I've left behind me, and B, the rocks that might fall and kill me.
I see.
When you turn around, you see Aisling like right at your shoulder, and she's just like, "What's going on?"
Back up, weirdo.
And you notice she kind of has like this breeze around her that you can kind of feel now that you're close to her. It's not like It's not like she's floating or anything, but her hair is always like gently moving, like there's a soft breeze.
I'm gonna take like a whiff of you and be like, ugh, you smell like spring. And I'm just gonna kind of like walk a little bit faster.
As you do so, you get a bit spray of water in your face as the water comes down, much like a heavy rain of just pure pouring. As you move towards it, you do realize that there is nothing beyond the waterfall itself, a hidden cave, perhaps. And you reach forward to touch the water. It's cold, but like laughing gas. You feel a sense of pain, but you don't mind it.
I mean, sure, masochistic tendencies, I guess. That's where we're going.
It's not that you enjoy it, it's just doesn't bother you.
Seeing them begin to walk away, I turn to Faircar and Hecate and say, in light of any other options, so
Well, I always said I'd play my own music at my own funeral. Let's carry on.
That's a good motto to keep.
I'll fall in at the back.
Alright.
So I guess I'm leading with Ashling very, very hot on my tail.
Okay, I will keep this marching order in mind. Alright. The first thing you see is darkness. And no dark vision cuts through it. Before small red globes from the sides of the walls, much like tiny crystals, illuminate ever dimly.
I don't take that spell.
And you see that this is a very thin corridor, shaping and moving along the way, very rough along the wall, as if someone had kicked it sideways their entire life to move through, as if their other arm had been broken, perhaps.
I'd like to
And
earth and
yes,
pull
go.
out one of these shiny glowing rocks with mold earth.
Okay, you try a mold earth, and the rocks don't really give. It seems as though they are something a substance unknown to yourself, but clearly not natural earth.
Okay.
As you continue down, you have to make some squeezes here and there, kind of shuffle your arms to make sure you don't get cut on any sharp rocks before you pop out into what appears to be a massive corridor. A long section of fine, smooth stone with intricate decorations and runes engraved in the walls and the floor below. You see massive stone hands with the same lights you had seen before, swirling around their palms as if collecting them as they dimly fade into the wrist. You see statues of lions before larger statues of 4 horsemen, all pointing spears towards the center of a large circle where a glow emanates with... To describe it is only to be able to see it in art. It seems to be a spiral of pure red and blue energy. 2 bulls heads up as as statues themselves, have fire igniting from the top of their heads. And as you walk closer and closer up a small staircase to get to this spiral circle of red and blue, you can see ahead of you what appears to be a large throne engraved with cats and lions and tigers, and a floor with trumpeting individuals all swirling around it like a sun. A single symbol rests on the throne. It is of a lion, but the mane is as if it were the sun. And in this throne, you see a large figure, not that of a humanoid, or at least not entirely. As you peer forward, you can see the body of a massive lion. And connecting where the head should be is waist up of a female woman. I guess that's kind of self-representing anyways. Of a woman. And she holds a massive dagger in her hand, picking at her nails delicately. And she looks at all of you as you move around this circle, as you be careful not to touch it. And when she looks at all of you, her body, the lion's portion, moves in place on the throne and sits back as she, too, leans back with her human arms. She greets you. Hello, travelers. I am overwhelmed to see you. Have you come to see me?
I suppose so.
Well, you speak for yourself, because I'm more of a dog person, so...
To each his own, I guess.
I see. More to the mutts than the Sphinx.
I'm gonna kind of like curtsy with a little bit more respect than I did my previous curtsy. I just kind of be like, "Oh, great Sphinx, are you the reason that we are here?"
You can tell this individual ponders for a second before she looks down on you. I suppose it's one reason why you're all here. Do you know why you're here? I does so.
The fog brought me here.
The fog.
I cannot recall how I got to this place, nor how I met these folk, other than they happened to just be there at the same time as me.
It's a good night tonight. The stars are aligned.
Aligned for what?
For dinner. Tonight.
Dinner.
Am I to be your dinner?
Of course not.
Oh.
I wouldn't eat you.
Whew. Just making
They
sure.
might.
You as a dog person.
She indicates to two massive cats, which look like tigers, but with fur like lions. And from these manes, you see spikes coming from them, like jagged, horrid tendrils of sorts. And on their tail, the same spikes flicker and flutter, as if like a porcupine ready to strike. And they look at you curiously and maliciously. They smile as their massive wings span high as these two creatures approach the center where you are and eye you as if waiting for a command. But their nails engraved in the stone are clearly ever so wanting.
Yeah, spikes and wings. I can respect the aesthetic.
One of them quickly says, Tweedledum, is this what we've come for? And the other says, yes, Tweedledee, I believe this is.
I'm gonna turn to the Sphinx and say, I take it might be your command they're waiting for to pounce.
I would assume so.
What must I do to ensure that that command is not given?
As the Sphinx, I demand your loyalty.
To what end?
I suppose you would have to be willing to risk your lives for it.
Based on our current predicament, I don't see that risking a life now or risking a life later. Actually, no. Risking a life later sounds better.
I've been risking life for the past 15 years. This shouldn't be any much of a change.
What can we do for you?
I suppose you can give me your valuables.
Not my valuables.
I have no
And she
valuables.
clutches like some little rocks.
Furcar will have a visible about that.
I just start
Look to
laughing.
him.
and I look down at like my skirt that's like torn and tattered at the bottom, and I'm like, do I look like I have valuables?
Well, if you deem yourself non-valuable, then I have no purpose to negotiate with you.
Oh, I don't deem myself
Snaps her finger,
non-valuable.
and the two,
oh no,
yes, the two creatures start moving closer, and they're purely apprehensive. Like, draw your weapons, draw your shields. We are going to kill you. They're supposed to be a rhyme, but we're not doing that. And they both pounce. I need everybody to roll initiative.
God damn it! I'm sorry.
Oh boy.
I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, I only have one thing of value, and I wasn't going to give it to her.
I
My
have value.
I got a 9. Wait. I got an 11.
I got a 2.
11?
Yeah, 11.
I got a 21.
21?
I got a 16.
14.
16, okay. 14. Alright, so the order of initiative is 21. Who got 21?
Fur car.
Monk.
Furker.
Punchy Magoo.
Okay, perfect. Who's after 21? Next house, I believe, is 16.
That's me.
Okay, so next is Hazel. Okay, so after that, 14, I believe.
That was me.
Okay, so to the Barbarian. Brandon. Okay, so and the other scores were
11.
11, and I believe there was one
It
more.
was a 2.
I only got 3 here.
It was a 2.
You got a 2.
A 2.
Okay, this will be fun.
Guys, my initiative is +0, so I get nothing. Whatever I roll is stuck there.
Nice.
Faircar, did I hear you call yourself Punchy McGee?
Punchy Magoo.
Magoo. Okay.
Okay, so we got a 2, and then of course a 7 for our. Was it? Sorry, who got 7? There's so many of you.
It's Farkar, Ashling, Rin, Hecate, and then me.
Ah, Kate, I see. Okay, these two creatures will roll their initiative as the supposed Sphinx watches you bored.
Great. She's gonna use my
Alright.
pinky bone to pick her teeth when done with us.
So right after the monk, we have one of these creatures, and the other one was right after the barbarian. The barbarian was 11?
14.
14, yes. And then Hectex, what was your score again? 7?
Mine was 11.
11. Okay, I'll say you go first in this turn. As compared to these two massive abominations of lions. So, up first is our monk.
Alrighty. First, Furcar is going to turn to the Sphinx and go, I am terribly sorry if anything were to happen to these two, if you care for them. And I will immediately turn back around to him.
Okay.
And you're going to see Furcar punch his fists together as two blue chitinous arms with a tint of red glowing between the plates just form out of them.
Okay, so the spectral arms come out identical to your other ones, and you I don't know how to describe it, extra arms. You have more arms to fight with, and they are at the ready, as dexterous and as wise as you are as they move, as if a mind of their own, but connected to your connected to your command. What do you do as these creatures stand about 10? The closest one about 5 feet from you.
You know what? I will be the ballsy one to run up and attempt to punch it right in the snout.
Okay, roll it.
Like a shark. It'll swim away.
So swim away.
I will boot the snoot.
Yes! Boop
Ooh, that's an 11. I will not
To
boot
hit?
Snoot. Wait, what?
Was that an 11 to hit?
Yep, that was an 11 to hit.
Okay, we do have, for the audience's sake, we do have a system of hero points from the Dungeon Master's Guide where you can use, add a d6, depending on how many points you have. You can choose to use that in this situation if you'd like.
Yeah.
Okay, first hero point usage.
Boop
Extra
the
d6.
snoot.
Boop the snoot.
Boop
The
the
Snoot
snoot.
will be booped.
Boop the snoot.
Boop the snoot.
Woo! 16.
16 does hit.
Boop level.
Okay, so roll damage.
That is a 7 to the nose.
7 damage, nice. You go in immediately, and this more than human nose, as compared to an animalistic going, breaks. I actually hit myself. And you hear the snap of the bone as it. Tweedledee is not happy with this. And Gwen looks down at you with jagged, gaping teeth. So you did 7 points of damage. Okay. Anything else?
Bonus action, can't do that. Nope, that will be it for me.
Good. You stand there at the ready as it comes in closer, and not really certain of what it wants to do with you, as you have disgraced it, but at the same time, it is very bloodthirsty. It is going to move in closer and make attacks against you. What is your AC?
My AC is 16.
It misses its first attack with a bite, missing just narrowly as it cuts through one of your spectral arms instead of the normal ones. Clearly a system of defense. And it's going to make its claw attacks against you. Your arm attack is 16. It does hit with one attack, and it does hit with a second attack.
Oof.
As it slashes against you twice, you take a total of 15 points of damage.
Good, good.
It says, surrender and make this easy. And begins flapping its wings as it elevates itself into the sky. You do get a reaction if you'd like.
Can I Flurry blows this thing?
You
Or
can
punch it again.
make a single attack as a reaction.
Okay, I will attempt to punch it in one of the kneecaps.
Okay, go ahead. Roll it.
Ooh, that is a hit.
Okay. So what do you get?
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 6 damage.
6 points of damage. You break it in the kneecap. You hear something dislocate as its leg itself actually turns unnaturally, even for this bizarre creature. You know its anatomy. It is not built for what it is, and it clearly hates the pain in its leg as it flies upwards and begins swinging its tail around, much like a flail, as if ready to send its spikes down towards the people below. That brings it to our good friend, the Druid.
Okay, so she is going to draw her scimitar in one hand and hold her dagger in the other hand, and she's going to do like 2-weapon fighting, so I can hit with both of them, or try and hit with both.
So you're going to
of them.
go
I
to the
think that's
one that has not been attacked yet.
Correct.
Okay. Do you have 2-weapon fighting, or
Yes.
Really? That's very cool.
Yes. Oh, it's a bonus action, so I guess I attack with one, then bonus action attack with the other.
Yes, that's how it works. I was asking, like, do you have 2-weapon fighting, like the fighting style, so that you actually add your modifier to the bonus action attack?
Are you proficient in two-handed combat?
No, everybody is proficient in it. It's just whether you add the damage to the bonus action is determined whether you have a fighting style. And since you're level 3 and a druid, you do not have a fighting style, I do not believe.
Yeah, it says I don't add my ability modifier.
Okay,
So
go ahead. Make 2 attacks.
okay. The first one does not hit.
Oh no.
That was a 5. And then the next one, okay, that's promising. Hold on. 13. I don't think that hits.
13 to hit. Just cuts off a bit of eyelash as it barely misses, and it laughs at you, clearly not seeing you as a threat.
She goes, "Bad kitty."
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, that leaves us with our barbarian.
All right. All right. Seeing the amount of damage done by the first creature, seeing the rather diminutive druid engage the second one, draws a hand up to grab a longsword out, pulls it out, tosses it just sideways at the Sphinx character, says, "That's what I got," and face goes purple, so it goes deeper purple, throws out the hands, and as a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and rage. The hand,
Yes.
the hands begin to elongate and grow into almost claws, and just go full in at the Manticore by Ace Slam.
Okay.
Okay, so that is a it's a cool ability. I get to go in with one claw strike, and that will be 24 on the first, and 17 on the second.
Hits.
First does 11 points of damage on the first.
11 points of damage.
Across its face. And the other hand comes across on the other side of the snout and does 10 points.
Wow.
Just
the pure instinctual effort and adrenaline coming from you. You slash into this creature twice. It's like much like an injured animal, like almost whines for a second before it and looks at you fiercely. It only sees a reflection of its own animalistic anger as you are moving towards it with ferocious claws. Anything else?
Whip puppy.
Alright. I believe that brings us to our bard.
Thinking. I'm gonna cast. So I'm gonna turn to the other one, the one that I believe it's our elf. Wait, hold on.
The one that's flying, or the one that's currently on the ground?
The one that's flying. I'm gonna cast. What's it called? Thunderclap.
All right.
Such an interesting name. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna cast Thunderclap.
All right. So I believe that is a con save.
Yes.
What's your save DC?
13.
It does succeed.
Ooh.
You smack your hands together, and there's a chorus of drums and cymbals just smashed together and make this loud echo that bursts through the entire room. You can tell the Manticore grabs onto its ears for a quick second, but quickly looks back at you and seems relatively unfazed.
That's pretty sad.
All right. Anything else you'd like to do with your turn?
No, I think that'll be it.
Okay. That brings us to the second creature, who clearly just in all-out rage is going against the Barbarian with all 3 attacks. So your AC?
16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
That's a natural 20 and a natural 1. And a miss. So you will be taking... That was with a bite first. No, that's close. You'll be taking a total of 8, so half to 4. As it slices you across the face, not doing nearly as much as you had done to it. and it's actually seems a little bit panicked at this point. Kind of turns its head back towards the Sphinx character, and she seems to be picking her teeth with her dagger. Just, I suppose I'll be eating something tonight. And I believe that brings us finally to the sorcerer.
Okay, so
Sorceress.
first thing, seeing all the damage that the Barbarian did, I'm just gonna kind of like turn and look at Rin and be like, could you save some monster for the rest of us? Or like all the damage that was just done. And then I am going to use
Nope.
No. I'm gonna use one sorcery point to use my meta magic for twin spell. So I can hit
Alright.
both of them at the same time. And
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm gonna hit them with Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Caustic Brew? Okay, so it's a dex save?
It's a dex save. So they both have to pass 12.
12. They both succeed.
Fuck! Well,
They are pretty dexterous.
Yep, okay, so... Great. Does nothing then. Nothing's happened now.
Just sprays of acid move forward to each of these creatures. One kind of ducks out of the way, the other just flaps back for a couple seconds as it comes up and comes down and hits the floor, not searing into it, but definitely causing some sort of sizzle.
Great. For my bonus action, I'm going to cast Shadow Blade so that I'm ready for my next turn with it.
You cannot cast 2 spells in one turn unless the action is a cantrip.
Even if the Shadow Blade is a bonus, it's the casting time is the bonus action?
Yes, but you can't cast 2 spells of first level or higher on the same turn.
Okay. Then I do nothing. I'm going to flip them both off because I'm pissed that my spell didn't work. So it's just like this, looking at both of them.
Okay, then. That brings us back to the monk, who has taken severe slashing across their body, just gaping and blood spewing from them.
It's at this point, like, for Carlsbaum is going to rip the coat he has, rip it off, and do the trademark Henry Cavill bicep reload.
Okay.
Also, would the real quick before I do anything, would the Sphinx react to the amulet my dude has on him?
The Sphinx looks like your amulet with a hint of curiosity, but I suppose I'm going to make a quick check. It does seem to have a keen interest in this, although not entirely certain of what it is meant to be. Shiny, really.
Right, and seeing as how the other Manticore is currently in the air, the car is going to run over to the other Manticore and proceed to drop kick it in the chest.
Alright, rolled it.
What is it?
That's an 11 again.
You go in for the drop kick, wires, and you just leans his head up so that your foot barely reaches his chin trying to kick it. You just kind of tap it along, and you have to put your foot back down as it growls at you. Just don't even try it.
How about
Anything
this
else?
then? And I will, when he says, don't try it, I'll look at him and go, alright, how about this? And I will, flurry of blows him.
Roll to hit twice.
It's a net 1!
One swing is all the way around, and you hit the blade of this druid in front of you. Nothing really happens. It's just loud. It's just like a sudden surprise. And the other hit, what did you get?
It was an 8.
bad news bears. You're trying to pummel this thing with spectral hands, normal hands. You're going in with every attack, and it's just not really actually trying that hard. It just kind of backs up a little bit, and then just kind of paws off the last attack. It's just not worth it.
I blame the gashing wounds in my chest. What? That would be
It
my.
actually just generally shrugs at you like, okay. But it goes back into its ferocious rage against the barbarian that it's currently occupied with. Okay, so that brings it to the Manticore in the air. At this point, you guys can tell these are Manticores.
Yeah.
It is going to release.
Gave him away.
Yeah, it's going to release the tail spikes against. We'll go one against the barbarian, one against the bard for hurting its ears, and one against the sorcerer for trying to spray with acid.
Oh no!
Barbarian, you receive a natural 20. They're rolling a lot of good ones on you.
Right on.
I'm really pissed at you for being.
Why can't I roll with that? It's funny.
You took their claw gimmick and they're mad.
So far, they're the only ones rolling natural 20s.
You take 11, so half, so 5 damage. Sorcerer, your armor class
10.
still manages to hit. Shockingly.
It doesn't hit, or it does?
Does hit.
Oh, it does. Yeah.
It does
sarcasm.
That
Sarcasm.
was sarcasm. You take 10 points of piercing damage as it jams
Great.
into your right shoulder. And the last one for our bard armor class.
11.
Does hit. So you, in addition, take 6 points of piercing damage as it stabs into your right thigh and just like sticks for a long way. You feel like it's gone all the way through, but when you check it, it's hard to tell. There's too much blood. And that creature continues flying above all of you. Just Tweedledum likes this quite a lot. And that brings it to our good friend the Druid.
Okay. Ashley is like kind of confused at what's going on. She's just like, wait, people are getting hurt. Everything's happening at the same time. So as a bonus action, she is going to cast Healing Word, and she is going to cast it on our good monk friend. And she's going to cast it, and you get 1d4 plus 2. So you get 5 points of healing. Sorry, that's not a lot, but, you know, it's better than nothing. And then for her action, she's going to try and hit with her scimitar.
Hit from it.
Wrong dice, hold on. Okay. 14.
Yes.
Yes! Okay. So then she does 6 points of damage to it.
Slash across the bridge of its nose. It can smell its own blood as a piece of its lip just kind of dangles off as you cut it across the face. Like, and it's like trying to determine who it hates the most in this party. Anything else?
That would be it, because I use my bonus action.
Okay, back to the bard. I mean, barbarian.
Very different classes.
One sings, the other just hits.
So, having done enough fighting, Rin having done enough fighting in his life to recognize what a monk is, looks at him and goes, just dodge. Brings both claws back at the Manticore's face.
Okay.
Second one misses. First one is a 17.
First one hits.
And 8 points to damage.
8 points. You like this T formation now in its face as it has taken multiple slashing wounds as you deal another 7 points of damage. It is just clearly most angry at you as seeing you as the dominant threat here. Okay.
Is that the one in the air or the one in the ground?
That was the one on the ground. He's using claws.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so is that all?
That's what I got.
Okay. Now the bard.
Not sure. So, say after getting hit in the leg,
Mhm.
I'm going to pull out. Not sure. Do I? I'm gonna take out my longsword.
Okay.
So I pull my longsword off the back, and I'm going to the Manticore is on the ground. I'll take a swing.
Okay.
Yikes!
Rolled it.
I rolled a 3.
This has been one of the strangest battles of my DM existence.
Guys, we're doing so bad.
No, I mean, you guys are managing, but it's just these. Okay, you swing and it cuts off a tip of fur, but you notice the creature doesn't even look. It clearly doesn't even feel the wind.
He looks at everyone and says, not my best day.
Okay, is that all you're gonna do?
Maybe our last.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
It's like, for me to do like a reaction, I can cast it at any time, right?
Something would have to happen to you.
Okay. Alright, then yeah, I'm good.
Alright. Back to this other Manticore who it's a little confused as to who he wants. It's going to make one attack against the Druid and the rest of its attacks against the Barbarian. So first up, the Barbarian with its bite. It does miss with the bite with a 7. Tries to get on your head. You lean back and push it away, actually chipping off a piece of its tooth in the process. It's going to make a second attack against you. Claw. Misses again as it swipes and tries, just barely missing you. But when you actually come back to realize, it missed you by a lot. It's rolled a 2 and 3. So, last one will go for the Druid. Now it rolls great. That's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, you take 6 points of slashing damage as it crosses you against the left arm.
Okay, that's an owie.
And this one is just breathing heavy, not sure if it wants to fly and risk getting hurt, but it feels like its chances might be pretty good. It starts flapping its wings as it raises. That means opportunity attacks from the 4 of you.
The 4 of who?
Yes!
The 4 of who? Not me and everyone else.
Everybody but the Sorceress.
Great!
30-20.
30-20? Okay, that does it.
3.
As another 11.
Okay, 11 misses. What did our Barbarian get?
8 points of damage.
8 points of damage? Okay, so 8 additional points of damage against this creature. Clearly, it believes it's making the right choice, but not the smartest. So it takes 8 there. You managed, did the Bard hit? If they're using their reaction, that is.
No.
Okay. That goes. Sorry, what did our Druid get to hit?
I got a 23.
23 does hit. Roll damage.
It's 6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. Perfect. Clearly taking much more than it would have wanted as it flies up and trying to navigate where it is, but is no longer becoming surrounded by the many pairs of individuals attacking, believing it is now safe. That brings us to the Sorceress.
Hey guys, what do you think our chances are if I just went to attack the Sphinx? If I was like, hey, tell him to go away. No? That seems like a bad idea? Alright, fine.
You look at the Sphinx, and you can tell that this Sphinx could probably kill both of these things on its own, and you guys are barely managing against these two
Great,
creatures.
yeah, no, let's leave the Sphinx alone.
It just seems to be somewhat intrigued by what's happening, but mostly bored.
Okay, alright, so... Are they still close enough that if I used a Shadow Blade, I'd be able to hit them?
You can throw your Shadow Blade.
Okay, so can I use my bonus action to create my Shadow Blade and then use my action for my Shadow Blade?
If it's a bonus action to cast it, yes.
It is, yes. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. And we are in dim lighting, correct?
I'd say so.
All right, great. So then I get advantage on my attack roll. That's a wonderful... Oh, there's my d20. It's a 13 on the first one.
That actually misses.
Okay, that's a 15 on the second one.
You have a second attack?
I get advantage on the roll for dim lighting with the Shadow Blade.
I see. It's a hit. 15, does it?
Yay, 15! All right, great. So...
Are you getting more injured or less injured?
More injured. Let's try to take him out. 2d8s. I was not prepared. I didn't know that I was going to be able to get it. That's not a d8. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm wasting all this time.
Okay.
That's 1. That's 2. 13.
13 points of damage. It's taking this blade, it's like clawing at its head, actually leaving scars in it as it's taking this psychic damage in its brain. It looks at it like, I don't like that much. And it's just like looking for who caused this and sees this shadow from your reaching hand, and you kind of look wide-eyed at it for a second, like, I did good, but at what cost?
I'm gonna hear it say, I don't like this, and I'm gonna go, you're not supposed to.
They aren't particularly happy with you. The one that's currently flying is just looking, just not really as intrigued. It seems to recognize strength in a number of you, but it also wants to prey on just random people. It is going to make an attack against the Barbarian, the Bard, and the Monk. The Barbarian, that is a natural 20. And why is it rolling so many of these?
Jesus. Put that dice in jail.
Okay, oh my god. You take 14, so 7 points of damage. Are you still good?
I'm bloodied at this point.
Okay. Right in your chest, and you pull it out immediately as to prevent infection. Our Bard, that is a 12 to hit. $11 points of piercing. Okay. If you're curious, you could use your Tiefling Hellish Rebuke, because I believe it has a range of, 30 feet?
Where is it? Oh, no, from there, yes it does.
It's 25 feet from you, so you could use your Hellish Rebuke if you'd like.
Okay.
Because I do not believe you actually... No, get back to your turn anyways, yeah.
I'll cast Hellish Rebuke.
It'll make a dex save. I don't care what your DC is, it's not 7, so it fails. Okay,
alright.
I believe that'll be 3d10, as it is a second level for your Tiefling.
Yes. I'm getting somewhere. 18.
18 points of damage. Okay, this fire from the hells themselves burn this creature's fur and its mane as it reels back in the pain and agony. It's like trying to determine where this source of horrific burning is coming from. Hell itself terrorizing it, and it does not seem to understand that tieflings have a bit of an infernal heritage. Okay. That left it to the Sorcerer, who just went... Wait, my game is mixed up. Right, the Manticore just went, so I believe it's the Sorcerer's turn.
Oh, again?
I did not make an attack against the Monk. So sorry. Just 10 days.
It's my turn again? Alright, okay.
It is your turn.
Okay, that one went real
Can you
quick.
cast Conjuring?
Okay.
Can I cast Sleep?
You know what? I'm gonna mold earth a big 5-foot cube, and I'm just gonna launch it at one of the Manticore.
Alright, so I'll cast Sleep.
You can mold earth. You can you can make a cube, but you can't really throw it.
Ah, damn. I got excited about that. Okay. I have a crossbow. I'm just gonna use that.
Whip out the crossbow and just shoot it.
Yep.
Okay.
Pull out the crossbow.
Roll it.
I'm just gonna kind of go. I'm having 50-50 luck with these spells, so I pull out the crossbow and like get ready. 14.
Just hits.
All right. 1d8 piercing damage. Oh, that's an 8.
All right. So you're hitting more injured, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay. You reel back on the crossbow and aim, and you're not really sure where to shoot this thing but you figure it has a big head. It's probably got a small brain in there somewhere, and and it enters the eye before it collapses on the ground below as the blood leaks from its head. The Manticore on the right, who is Tweedledum, is dead.
Nice.
Which leaves
Can I?
Tweedledee, but yes.
I just
Sorry,
wanted to say that I want to call out to the one that's still left alive, and I'm gonna go. I guess that makes you Tweedledummer now.
Make an
We don't have
intimidation
to,
check
like,
with
shake their head at
disadvantage. That's straight. You just killed the other one. Make an intimidation check. We'll see how it goes.
Great.
Psychic damage all around.
Well, it's not too bad. Oh no, wait, that's actually much higher than I thought it was. That's actually 20. It's a non-natural 20.
Okay, it's clearly very agitated by your remark. Its lack of intelligence seems to regard it that seeing you make an insult, hearing you make this insult, it's just seething at the mouth, just white foam coming out at this point. Okay, that brings us to our monk. Is our monk gonna do anything?
I was muted. My apologies.
No problem.
How high up is the Manticore?
About 25 feet.
Okay. Is there enough like statues around I could like maybe climb up to his level?
It's not. You could try climbing one of the statues. Yes. One of the horseman statues with the large spear aiming towards the center. It's actually flying very close to it. Yes.
Alrighty, I will attempt to parkour my way up to the.
Make an athletics check.
That is a 15.
Yep, you grab onto the spear before hoisting yourself up like a professional chin-up. Get your both feet planted before you grab around the head and hoist yourself onto the shoulders with your forearms at the ready. It is within range.
Now I have the high ground.
You know,
Do it, Duncan. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Could I possible to leave off and like grab onto this creature?
You would like to attempt to grapple it midair.
Yes.
Make a grapple check.
Just launch
roll your
yourself at it.
I believe that's just roll athletics,
Atomic suplex.
and it will make
Off the
it'll make
top
post
rope.
athletic check
Half
against you.
moon.
Athletic.
an 11.
Oh, thank God. I hope. Thank God it's not. That's a 21. Not net.
Well, you beat it 7 as you grapple it midair and are holding it around the back of its neck and are just wrestling with it, and it's trying to shake you off, not certain of what it's supposed to do. Okay.
You know what? That's going to be my turn for now. I'm gonna just keep.
Okay.
It's gonna ride
in a
it.
headlock. Exactly.
This creature is just confused as to why you are now on it. It sees this as a sign of just pure disrespect towards it in battle, and it's going to fly upwards and drop down to try and squish you on the floor.
Dishonor on you.
So
Dishonor
it-
on your cow.
Rises about 50 feet before it lets itself fall. Clearly not certain of what it's going to do to its own body. So it's going to, you're going to take half the fall damage.
Oh.
Can I cast Levitate and just have him stop?
That's not a reaction, so
I
no.
know it won't work.
Wait, can I cast Featherfall?
You can. Are you targeting him and not the Manticore?
Yes.
Okay, you snap your fingers, and just a spread of just angelic wings just move around the monk. Monk, I'm assuming you're going to let go.
And I'm going to let go and flip him off as I watch him fall. With all four arms,
Just
I'm
back
going to flip
straight
him off.
forwards into the ground. The creature, now realizing the mistake, just sees, oh, and hits the ground with a big impact. Taking 14 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits the ground, and you hear snapping in its back. It tries to get up with half its. It can use half its movement to get up, as it's just looking around, startled as you, Mary Poppins, just and your feet touch
Still
the
flipping
floor.
them off.
It's just
All four arms.
Okay. That brings it to. It's not its turn, and it's gonna make its attack since it technically did. All it did was drop itself, but it's gonna do so with disadvantage because it is perfectly injured and uncertain of what it's gonna do. It's gonna make 2 attacks. Let's go 2 attacks against the Barbarian and 1 against the Monk. First against the Barbarian misses. Second against the Barbarian does hit, as it just kind of blindly throws a tail spike and it catches you on the right arm. You take 6 points of piercing, so 3. And you managed to handle it like a champ. The last set of these spikes are going to go towards the Monk. And for the Monk, rolled 2 9, so a total of 14. It misses as you block it out of the way with one of your spectral hands, and it smacks against the other statue.
Can I just
Okay, that.
seeing all of the damage that Rin has taken, can I just call out and be like, "Are you dead yet?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terribly.
So that brings us to our Druid.
Okay. So how far away is it from me? Like, is it within striking range, or do I have to? Would I have to
you
run
have
over?
to move up to it, but it's easy too. It's about 10 feet from you.
Okay, so I will move up, and I will do 2 weapon fighting. So I'll just try to hit with my scimitar and then with my dagger.
Okay, roll the hit.
Okay. For the scimitar, that is a 22 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. And then for the dagger, that's a 5, so that's not going to hit. No,
Yes.
6, sorry. That's not going to hit.
Yes.
So for the scimitar,
So close.
8 points of damage.
Wow. All right, 8 points of damage as you cut it across one of its wings. It's now kind of falls to the ground, clearly not being able to use it. Kind of taps the other one feebly, trying to get itself off the ground yet again, but at no avail. Okay, I believe that brings us to our Barbarian.
It's still on the ground.
As far as you can tell, yeah. pretty obvious.
Beeline right for it. Full jump into the air. Come down across with both claws.
Okay. Okay then. You just
Reckless.
reckless. Okay, you have advantage on the attack.
20 to hit on the first.
Hits.
Natural 20 on the second.
Okay.
So for the first, it's 11. For the second, it's 12, 15, 17.
The first strike, you come down and for a second you're like, that's not right. That's not what it looked like for a second ago. And you realize the very face of the creature is stuck on your claws as you stare at its skull and brain. And the second attack, you're like, might as well. Clearly already dead, but with a hint of life left in its subconscious. You reach in and tear out its innards, and you just holding this, not pulsing, but almost just squealing brain in your hand. You crush it as the rest of the body goes limp, and slowly, ever so slowly, falls down. The two creatures are dead. Small clap coming from this sphinx. Just okay, cool. I've seen better, but pretty good.
No,
I liked what you did with the falling.
Oh, thank you. It's some of my best work.
Thanks for the assist. I don't know how it would have made if I actually hit the ground.
She's kind of she looks at all of you, and for a second you actually can tell that there's a sense of fear. You can definitely tell that this individual, this cat woman, could probably take you easily, but something else is restricting her from doing so. I see there's no need for me here. Tell you what, I'll make a simple exchange. Since you're clearly working for the True Sphinx, I will make my way out, and all I ask is for a lock of hair.
Oh, she gonna clone us?
No.
From all of us?
From whoever you deem
Oh, I got it.
the easiest to pry.
I got it. I'm gonna I have a little, knife. I'm gonna walk up to one of the Manticore, and I'm gonna trim some hair off the Manticore, and I'm gonna hand it to her.
Well, you little twat. Take the hair.
I apologize, madame, but I did ask who you wanted it from, and you did not specify.
DM.
I'll be making my leave. Yes.
Did I hear this entity say the True Sphinx?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I roll? You name what it would be for a roll. Can I roll to see if maybe I can recognize some type of illusion magic or can recognize what this is?
Make an investigation. Make an investigation check to see if you can detect any illusion.
That's a Sphinx. That's a Sphinx, yo.
You don't know what you're trying to navigate here as you're looking at this creature. It's very difficult to tell.
Can I try the same thing?
Sure, I'll let one more roll go. Make an investigation check, see if you can detect any illusion.
Well, 15 or 25?
25 is pretty good. There's no trace of an illusion here, but now that you look at this creature, you've read about them. This is not a sphinx. It doesn't hold the image of the great, mighty monstrosity, almost celestial creature. This is a different monstrosity. One by the name of the Lamia. Deceitful, perfect creatures. Always intending to infiltrate the minds of others and manipulate them to the best of their abilities. Very greedy, protected by manticores, seekers of treasure. The Sphinx is far more powerful.
It's a good thing I didn't give her any of our hair. Gave her the Manticore hair instead.
Walks out towards this thin entrance before looking at it with a bit of a dismay. Just, I suppose that was not the smartest. Before she walks towards this glowing red and blue swirl in the middle, enters it and kind of flicks the hair on the ground before disappears in a bright flash of fire of red and blue. She's gone.
And with that, Ren would immediately start going from person to person, asking if they're okay. Is everyone fine? How hurt is everyone?
I'm just gonna sit there, like, hands covered in blood from, like, touching everywhere I've been hit, going, I'm a little bloodied. Nothing a good
You can definitely tell everybody's a little worse for wear.
Furcar is going to check on his amulet and make sure it's not damaged.
Doesn't appear to be.
Good.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to the group and
Click on
say, I know that no one remembers how they got here, but does anybody remember if there's a town nearby for a healing kit?
All of you were making your way to Kepjar in Majé, which is, according to our map, it is 1 day away.
Hey guys, I was heading to this one city. If anyone wants to come with to go buy some food.
What a
I can
coincidence!
use you, yes.
What a coincidence! I was on my way there as well.
I don't believe in coincidences.
Maybe you should try it sometime.
And you just hear this erupting voice emanate from the throne. Before a massive, much larger pair of wings spanning 15 feet flap, and out of nowhere apparates this much larger, clearly obvious sphinx, or some type of sphinx. And in place of the manticores, the two bodies rot away and turn into pure blood that moves into the runes of this decorated floor of this chamber. And you see two figures approach, very much like the other ones, but more feminine and a little more elegant, and less compared to size than this larger sphinx, but three sphinx in total, as they all look down on you with an aura of recognition and a sense of pride.
I'm gonna do like a legit curtsy now and be like, "Oh, great sphinxes."
Sphinxes. Is that the proper grammar? I'm actually not quite sure.
Sphinxes?
Got some mouths to himself.
Sphinx?
I doubt Sphinxi.
How about oh, great celestial ones?
Technically not celestials, but I appreciate your efforts. As this massive sphinx looks down you, almost like with a decorated crown in its lion-like mane and braids coming down its cheeks. Its eyes just a pure blue color, no pupil whatsoever, and clean shaven and very graceful in its presence.
Do I sense that they're not malicious towards us in any way?
An insight check.
Oh, boy.
And basing what just happened, basing actions on what just happened, just kind of step forward and arms out just in case.
14.
14? No immediate threat that you can see.
Great. I'm gonna
Or
pull
detect.
out a piece of parchment and some ink from my backpack, and I'm just gonna start like writing notes down about the Sphinx and like its ornate jeweled crown and things like that. Like almost like I'm studying it.
Okay.
Write down some information.
Furcar is just going to walk up and give the Sphinx a bow.
Okay. The Sphinx kind of gives off this nod like a lion in return. Doesn't seem to be as capable of bowing as a human would be, or a humanoid.
Ashling is gonna go over to where the sorcerer is taking all her notes, and she's like, "So you ever seen one of these before?"
I feel like jump and be like, "What? Stop doing that!" Like I'm imagining because you're like you're air that you're very quiet on your feet. So I just kind of I have a thing for personal space, and every time I turn around, you're there. Like I don't think so, and like I just go back to taking my notes.
They're quite tall, aren't they?
I kind of look down at
They
you.
are
And
each large in size, yes.
I look down at you and I go, I mean, I suppose everything's tall from where you stand.
That's rude.
No
Merely an
need for
observation.
hostility.
Ugh.
No need for hostility.
Okay.
I apologize. I was not trying to be rude. I merely was making an observation about your stature.
What can we do?
My observation is that you're a horrible shot.
That would be fair.
Now that we have no further hostilities, someone was speaking.
What can we do for you?
Well, it's nice to know that. It's nice to know that the mortals are still willing. No, I'm just joking. I recognize all of your strength in battle, even if at times it seemed hopeless or at less of a pride than you'd like it to be. But I can guarantee you that I am here with my kind to wish you good luck
Good luck on what? Your Eminence.
for the journey you have ahead of you.
Alright. So Hikate's gonna step forward, put his hands out, and be like, I'm technically signed up for any journey. Ain't no one explaining anything. Let's start from the beginning. Exactly why are we here?
You're here because we've summoned you. We want you here because you have been chosen by a group from long ago who has disappeared. The heroes of the realm. And they have chosen you as their descendants, in a manner of speaking. Their apprentice. Protege, perhaps. To take on the role of heroes in this realm. This is the Hollow, our nation. And it is not a good one. At least not now. It is full of corruption and hate. And bad, bad people. But in it, there are the 5 of you. Each hand-picked by ancient heroes to serve in their place.
Was one of those heroes a mountain?
You can tell the things for a second. I wouldn't say so. They,
that's okay then.
they have their connections to mountains, I would imagine. But a mountain itself, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna have like my quill in my hands and kind of turn to her and be like, "What do you mean a mountain?"
You know.
Like I'm a little fascinated now, and I want to take notes on this interaction.
Perhaps that's a question.
Pardon?
Perhaps the fascination with mountains is a point of discussion for later. Heroes. I know myself. I don't know these people. Perhaps we could choose better.
I must say I'm in agreement with the Barbarian on
Yeah.
this one.
There's no choosing better, there's simply choosing.
Wonderful. We got our names picked out of a hat.
I guess
Which hat?
Very
I guess
fancy
It
one.
was
the family
It wasn't
name
a hat
comes in more than
so
one
much
form.
as it wasn't a hat so much as the fact that you are 5 radiant souls in everlasting darkness and common folk. We see potential in you, and we hope that you accept that as a compliment. It should be an honor.
I accept anything you would bestow upon me, O great Sphinx.
Well, good.
So that. Okay, Hecate,
Yes.
Pardon?
you asked why. You asked. I only feel like half your question was answered. Did you catch a why in any of that, or to what end?
I didn't ask. I just want to know, like, what we were doing.
To what ends? Oh, you want to know exactly what you're doing. You want the very specifics of the bones.
Would be
Perhaps a
nice.
direct.
I mean, that would help keep us one step in the right direction.
Restore peace to a nearby road, then. We'll start small.
Restore peace to a nearby road seems doable.
Yes, very much so, as compared to fighting horrible people and horrendous monsters.
So was this all the test?
Oh yeah, you totally cleared out our living room. This is our place.
And
This
what a
is,
lovely home it is.
Yeah,
Can't say I feel too bad.
Once we
Still
rid
not
of
a
the
cat
Manticore
person.
bodies, we'll probably just eat them. But once we rid of the bodies, it'll be much nicer.
Wonderful.
You know, I can, given some of the architecture I've seen when I was younger, I can respect the architecture. It's very nice.
Very earthy.
What kind of monsters are you talking about? Like wolves or mountain lions?
Or mountains, apparently.
No, mountains are good.
Oh, okay.
Witches,
Ooh.
giants,
Ooh.
the Wendigo.
Oh.
I've seen my fair share of giants.
A Wendigo I can get behind. At least it's a dog.
They
More of a
they all sound very cheery to meet.
Well, I suppose. We shall do what you ask. Point us in the
If
direction of
you-
this road.
Perfect. So on the way to Cupjar, would you like us to take you there directly?
Directly to Capture or directly to the road?
I don't know, but it
Your
looks
choice.
like Rin has something that he would like to add.
Before we go anywhere, and I'm guessing from my condition, everyone's a little beat up.
Yeah.
Oh, you would like healing.
Oh, that'd be wonderful.
That would be.
Yes, the gagging wounds in my chest are starting to sting now.
I could.
I mean, my
Do you mind?
intestines are starting to fall out, so.
Do you mind if I grab my sword?
Flicks it towards you. Just slides against the floor to get to your feet.
All right, that didn't work.
Thank you for clearing that poor excuse of a Sphinx. We appreciate it.
I tricked her, too. I felt very proud of myself.
The trickster. With
You
nothing
should
but
be
simple tricks. I do appreciate that.
I would say that was one of the toughest fights I have had to date.
So, I suppose I could give it a quick heal.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Does that include spell slots or no?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm gonna turn to go. Is it one gift per Sphinx? Can a Sphinx give you my spell slots back too? There's 3 of you.
This much larger Sphinx, well, not larger in the sense as like an extra few feet. Looking down at you, it almost looks like it has a hint of regret in its eyes after making a bad decision.
Mom?
Won't be the last
But
time.
yeah.
Wait, I recognize that look, Mom.
Okay. But you can tell that there's still a sense of purpose, a sense of importance it sees in you.
Yay.
You are times.
All right, how are we doing this
Need to
healing?
grow. It's stay around for a little while. Rest up. Screw it. And he just snaps his fingers. You all benefit from a prayer of healing, except instead of 10 minutes, is casted in 2 seconds.
Woo.
So I'm just gonna believe that'll be 2d8 plus. Fine. 2d8 plus. Plus 6.
Ooh, that's a good number. I rolled 2 nat ones.
Oh.
D8 plus.
I heal 18 points.
Was it 1d8 or 2?
I rolled
Oh.
limits, you guys.
Oh, thank God.
You each heal 18.
Thank you.
Yes. No problem.
Because I rolled 2 nat ones. That was not going to work if I had to do it for myself.
Well, you're all 18 hit points. The wounds just festering, just heal, leaving minor scars, which look like they will eventually fade. And they look at all of you. So, I suppose you'd appreciate some helping hands before we send you off.
Wonderful. Thank you. That was a weird feeling.
Furcar will do a backflip just to make sure everything's working properly.
Oh my God.
Okay. Sorry, what?
He wants to do a
Furcar is... Yeah, I'm doing a backflip just to make sure
Make an acrobatics check.
everything's back where it was. That's a 24.
Oh my God, I was hoping for a nat one.
You raise your feet above and land back on them, and you're like, yeah. You're not the first player I've had who's done that.
Alright, I sense that we're starting to get ready to go, so I'm gonna put away my notes that I've been taking about these Sphinx and we'll put them back in my bag now.
To the 5 of you, we give 2 gifts.
Ooh.
Who would like to be the volunteer?
I volunteer as tribute. I love presents.
Furcar will step up as well.
Well, there are 2 items, so 2 gifts. Who would like the material gift?
Can we hear what both gifts are before we decide?
No.
Oh. I apologize.
You'll find that I'm not like most of my Sphinx kind. I'm a little more laid back, and I don't like to just be logical. I appreciate being mysterious. It compliments me.
I'll take the immaterial gift if that pleases Farkar.
Non-material?
Well, you said
You
who
may
wants
take
the
whatever
material
you
gift.
like.
I assume the second one to be immaterial.
Yes. He raises his mighty paw and presses his
I got
finger against your temple.
I got pooped by a toby.
Let's see here.
I was just imagining a giant cat paw with a giant pink toe bean coming straight at my face. It's just wonderful.
Yes, you receive a charm.
Ooh.
You receive the charm of animal conjuring.
That's supposed to be my thing.
Direwolf,
Well,
direwolf,
that's
direwolf.
Supposedly, yeah.
Animal
You
conjuring.
have 3 uses of this, and you can cast Conjure Animals as a 3rd level version as an action with each use. The other gift is given, and it appears to be an hourglass. In time, this will become more and more important. Take it for now.
Fancy.
As this hourglass is taken, you can choose to attune to it.
Oh, why not? Whatever happens
You,
to to an item you've never known?
As for now, you feel this aura of life in you, as if your soul isn't ready to quit. You, while attuned to this item, you have advantage on the saving throws.
Ooh.
Woo!
That's nice.
And now, I suppose we will say goodbye. It was excellent meeting all of you. My name is Garfield.
Bye, Garfield. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna like
It was a
curtsy
pleasure.
again.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Garfield.
It was excellent to meet all of you. And I have hopes for you. Let it be known that I cannot guide you every which way. As your patron, I can give you what I can.
And what a wonderful patron you are.
Thank you.
What's a patron?
I'll explain later.
It's a friend.
I love friends.
Oh dear.
I know you do.
You sweet child.
Yep, Farrakhar's gonna lean into the bar. We might want to keep an eye on that one.
Everyone gather around the circle. Steps off the throne and moves towards this large circle in the center, still glowing with the red and blue. Kind of dusts it off a paw print where the Lamia had been.
We don't have to hold
And-
hands, do we?
No.
If you choose to.
God no.
Ashley will grab her hand.
I'm gonna like start flailing my arm trying to get you off.
It's like raising cubs. I see a lot of potential in you, but potential can be wasted, so don't. I wish you good luck, and may your adventures be ever prosperous. The first place you must go is Reggie Road, where it has been overseen by a series of kin. Their purposes are unknown to most. It is up to you to decide how to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
Put your right hand in.
Aisling is like very enthusiastically like, yes!
I'm like looking at Aisling like, Jesus Christ. And then I put my hand like hovering so that I don't have to touch her.
Have respect for each other.
I mean, if I must.
You do.
And that's how we get out
When
of
you
here.
come to death's door, it's good to have a friend by your side.
Yes, sir.
We're both gonna die.
And you all apparate, and just suddenly you're standing on the outskirts of an old shed, an old farmhouse of sorts, which seems to be torn down and ruined. If you look into the distance, you can see what appears to be a road leading into a series of hills that splits off into further roads. One road going much farther down, as far as the eye can see. The other heading towards a walled town. And that's the city of Kepjar.
Well, I would like to assume that we can see our goal in sight.
To which goal are you referring? The city or the road?
The city.
But the giant sphinxes said to go protect the road,
Said to repair the road.
repair the road.
If we go to the city, we might be able to find out more information about what is happening to the road, and therefore, we may have a better plan going in.
Suppose the monk has a point.
Also, I would like to purchase a new coat. I would like to just wear something to hide my amulet.
I'm gonna look down at like my now tattered, very tattered skirt and go, I suppose I could do with new clothes as well. Maybe a med kit or two, should we find ourselves in another precarious situation.
That would probably be wise.
Okay.
Our other, option,
You were all. Pardon, go ahead.
our other option is to wander about, follow the monk's lead.
I shall follow the monk.
Ashley will kind of shake her head and just be like, "They told us to go to the road," and then she'll follow.
Move off, and making your way along the road, you head towards these hills. If you choose to take the road directly, you may run into whatever this issue is. If not, you would have to risk not taking the road, and you don't know what that could hold. Forest is unpredictable.
I guess we're taking the road. I mean,
Take the road. Hold on. How long are you guys willing to travel? It should be about an hour or so before you get to those hills. Maybe.
I mean, how
We'll
close
narrow
is
it down to
dark?
half an hour. How close are you there? It looks like you got about 3-4 hours before it starts sitting low.
From where we stand in either direction, is it possible to see anything encroaching on the road? Anything that might prove to be a hindrance?
Make a perception check. And I would like to 11. Okay. I would like to mention one more thing. You all gain from your new patron. You all benefit from group assistance. You can give each other essentially the help action from a range for no action required once a day. But I will say you have to do so before you proceed with making the check.
Do you say once a day or once a session?
Once a day.
Once a day. Okay.
So every time you take a long rest, you gain your ability to use group assistance back. So even if it's like a heads up or like a cheer from one player, you can get advantage on a roll from that person using group assistance to help you out. Tasha's pretty good book.
Yeah. Lots of great stuff.
Well, who has
No.
the most experience traveling? I suppose they should take the lead.
I've never traveled anywhere.
Urquhart's going to look at the Bard and the Barbarian.
well,
Let's go.
I pull out my lute and I start strumming a marching song.
And I
The wizard.
start walking.
Okay.
Ashley kind of claps.
The wonderful Wizard of Oz.
I just like pull out a book that I have and I just like read while like shaking my head at this like procession that's now happening around me.
Okay. As you're all continuing, so we have our barbarian in the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you is anybody actively looking around, or what's happening? Because it seems to be a green day in the fields. Occasionally, the slopes of the roads go under and over, very bumpy and swirly, for lack of better words. But yeah, go ahead, make a perception check.
16.
16?
Yes, sir.
It's pardon?
Ooh. Nat 1.
That one. You're like paying attention, and then you realize you're staring at the sun.
How?
Damn it!
Huh.
It's like,
Well,
oh,
actually,
you just
see
see
for the
these
past 5
bright
minutes.
lights in front of you, much like the ones you had seen earlier, are just blinding you as you move forward. And as you continue, you can, with a 16, it's not horribly long before you see what appears to be a very, very, very thin wire along the road as you're walking, and you stop yourself before stepping on it. And it's kind of confusing because it looks like two stakes set up along each side of the road with a simple wire along the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not sure what its purpose is there, but you've heard of traps that have been set by wires because it's common knowledge. The rest of you can see it at this point.
Can I do an investigation check on the trap to see if I can figure it out?
Go ahead.
I feel like when you
26!
suddenly
That was a nat 20.
Natural
Nice.
20. Yep, nice. Okay, with the natural 20, you can definitely tell that this mechanism is, although seemingly very simple and pathetic looking, is extremely dangerous. You're not sure what it's connected to, but it's something that has been buried underneath this ground, as you can tell by the patchwork of dirt, and it doesn't look like something you wish to approach. Tearing this wire could cause devastating effects, to your knowledge.
Having investigated it so well, can I see any obvious way to disarm it?
You would need thieves' tools.
I don't have those.
Do you need help?
Which side is the like the dirt disturbed? Is it our side or the other side?
It seems to be all around. And you guys, the more you guys look at these, the more you almost tend to pry. You hear, no, don't touch that. As you see this small gnome running towards you, like at full speed, before he stops in the dirt before the wire says, "Don't touch that."
Yes.
Why not?
Would you like to explain what this is?
It's a contraption of mine. I'd really appreciate it if you didn't touch it, though. You know, it could be bad.
Why would you put a trap on the road?
I don't know what you're talking about.
It seems like you do.
No, I mean, seems is a interesting word to use. Doesn't mean I do.
Okay, fine.
I
Be
grow
suspicious.
I grow tired of your chattering.
I've spoken for like a minute.
What's your name, friend?
Tripwire.
Tripwire.
Tripwire gnome mechanism extraordinaire.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the monk and I'm gonna go, seems legit.
My friend, you do realize you have placed a possibly dangerous, mostly deadly trap in the middle of the road that could be frequently passed through by travelers.
No one's really using this road now that the Reggie Road has been kind of overrun by giants.
Oh, that's great.
Giants! I've seen many of those, you know. I saw Sphinx just this earlier today.
I don't really know what a Sphinx is.
I didn't
Sure.
either till I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we learn new things. I'm just going to disarm this. He gets down his knees and he starts... snaps the wire and just rolls it up on his finger, and it appears to be a ring that actually stores the wire itself. Much like a recoiled yo-yo. Okay, I guess it's disarmed now. I guess I'll have to dig it up later, but...
Except for the giants?
Not a giant.
No,
I wasn't
more.
concerned about the giants. He actually looks in the distance. He's like, damn it. And you actually see in the distance what appears to be a small trail of dust with a cart in the front with two horses carrying it, and what appear to be two men wearing guards' uniforms on top. And he's like, well, I guess I'm not getting paid today because I cleared the road, but they didn't see it. Anyways, I'll bid you farewell. Don't dig right here unless you're a fan of thunder. Bye. And he leaves.
I love thunder.
Not the good type.
Oh,
And he just scuttles off and disappears amongst the tall grass.
like watching him, I'm just gonna go, what an odd little creature.
Yeah. So how far guard?
I'm gonna turn my attention
Oh.
to the cart now.
It's approaching at this point. It actually sees you guys and they go like, out of the way, this road's not safe. And they kind of over the little bump that you have just cleared and continues forth.
How rude! Don't even offer us a ride.
That's what I'm saying.
For
You do realize they stop about 50,
Go ahead.
and you notice a series of guards, about 7 or so in total. 5 in the carriage exit, and the 2 on top keep the horses at bay by tying their legs together so they don't run off. and they all seem to be prepped with spears and shields and are setting up what strange wooden barricades that seem to be foldable.
I'm
You
gonna
know,
like
preparing themselves on the road.
cautiously approach. Be like, what are you fellas doing?
I have a,
Preparing for potential giants.
Are there
I
giants
have a
headed this
bad
way?
feeling about this.
We do not know, but we have to make sure that they don't continue seizing road. They've been stealing from us and attacking guards.
Do you know the reason?
Ashley,
No, we do not know. We imagine it's because of their giantsness. They're dumb creatures, and they always steal from people because they're idiots.
that's rude.
So is stealing
Right.
and murdering our troops.
Just gonna go behind the barrier. No, don't mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow the barbarian.
Stay behind the guards.
Sounds good.
Ashley will flick the barrier and go, I don't think this is going to stop a giant.
It's
Nope.
supposed to stop the rubble that the rocks cause if they were to miss aim.
Fair enough.
Dear.
Have you witnessed any of these giants? We're not sure of their exact number or size. We just, based off the guards that have come back with incredible head injuries, they are ferocious, big, and powerful.
Not as of yet. We were gonna head into town first before we snuck a peek.
Good luck with that. You have to get past the Reggie Road.
Oh.
Good sir, could you tell us more about these giants?
What do you want to know? They stole a lot of our garbage. They have actually supposedly have prisoners in their camp for whatever reason, probably to eat them, and have set up a series of sharp barricades and boulders to stop all carts from entering. They have gathered all of our supplies they've stolen and brought it to the middle, leaving the commoners fleeing and striking down any guard they see. They have taken something very valuable to our town.
What have they taken that was so valuable?
Not entirely sure of its name.
Can you give me a description?
Big, bare metal.
Is there anyone in the town we can ask about this item that you're missing?
Well, we'd certainly have to get to town to do so.
I'm just gonna pull out my sheet of paper again and like write like a new heading that says giants, and then just start asking them the guards like random questions about the giants, like their approximate size and things like that. Like I'm studying them again.
Big enough to smack someone over the head easily, I guess.
Well, the barbarian's pretty large. He could probably smack you over the head very easily. Are they his height or are they taller? I would imagine.
I thought the barbarian was a giant.
I'm 6 foot tall.
To be fair, that is
we're talking like bigger than a bear. Tit big.
A bear or an owl bear?
I mean,
Yeah, I'm familiar with the owl bear too. I'd say about as big as an owl bear.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
you expect them to be here.
We expect them to start throwing stuff this way because every time they see a cart, they throw stuff. So we're hoping we can limit the amount of ammunition they can use so that we can send in a person or two to rescue the hostages, maybe retrieve what we had, and then use it against them. It was our what they stole from us was our greatest defense against giants.
If it was your greatest defense against the giants, then how is it that the giants took them from you?
Well, that's how a lot of things work.
They said it was their best, not perfect.
That's fair.
Very true.
Well,
Do you have a patrol that's already heading out to rescue the...
There it is. The item.
He doesn't have his headphones on anymore. Give him a second.
Right.
Good. So sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Had to do a
That's
little bit of talking.
I'm asking the guards if they have if they have a patrol already set up that's going out to retrieve both the item and the supposed prisoners, for maybe we'd be able to offer our assistance.
Yeah, they hit it in earlier this morning.
And you have not heard from them yet?
Yeah, we're the backup team.
Oh. Can you point us in the direction that they went? Perhaps we might offer some assistance.
Just points down the road.
Okay. Can I ask what was in the cart, by the way, that you guys are transporting?
This cart?
Yeah. You said that they throw rocks when they see a cart, and so that's why you had to set up the barrier.
Yeah. Guards.
Oh, it was just guards.
That's why
okay.
we can't. That's why we can't. No, there's not a lot in there. We are low on booze. We are low on food, and we're really, really cranky. We came from an outpost after receiving a bird that they needed help to clear giants.
How many of them are there?
We're not sure. More than 2.
No guards. I'm asking you how many.
Oh,
there
there's
are.
7 guards.
7 guards. I'm gonna take out 7 rations. And I'm gonna hand it to them because we're gonna go get this.
They start chewing on just dried fruits and the dried salted meats. Like, pretty sure.
I hope we're a little less cranky now. And then I'm gonna turn to the rest of the group and go, well, first the fake Sphinx and now the real giants. You guys ready to go?
Sphinx.
This should be fun.
Aisling, you said on several occasions you're familiar with giants.
Well, I thought all people were giants that are taller than me.
Okay.
You know what?
Brand new world.
Thank you.
I'm gonna turn to the group and say, if it helps, I do have the ability to comprehend languages for an hour, in which case I should be able to speak giant, should we get close.
Okay.
I would say we might want to take a more diplomatic approach to this if we can.
Yeah, so I'd be able to speak. I've got about 3 hours of magic left, and I'd be able to speak. I'd be able to understand the literal meaning of giant for an hour at a time between having to cast the spell.
Okay.
If we can avoid fighting, that's the best bet.
I would agree. All right, tally ho then, as they say.
So, did they tell you?
All these guards looking at you just. Yeah, if you're volunteering, go ahead. We're probably not going to after you if you get captured, but we're the backup team. So, see if our boys are alive. And girls. We have females on us, just not a lot.
I would presume come
That's
after
not really
us.
important, though. What?
I would presume you wouldn't have come after us either way.
If they were like really weak.
Good job, guys.
Thanks.
Gotham's
Keep up the
finest
good
out
work.
here.
Yeah. We're not even done our training. They just sent us.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna go like, oh, you poor dears. And like.
Don't feel sorry for us. The outpost out there is really useless.
Godspeed, soldier.
Yeah. Elder him.
Okay.
You off.
So, what do we know so far?
You know, there are a number of giants, and they have stolen something very valuable. They have potential prisoners, they have barricades, they have resources, and they have killed guards.
And they have possibly the A-team.
I think there is an A-team up there. We just don't know if they're dead or not.
And this is obviously the freshman B team.
Yes.
Yep.
This is the freshman JV first week at high school team.
All right. And what we know of where they are is just down the road.
Yep.
I'm just gonna kind of like pick up with like a little pep in my step and turn around and go, aren't you excited? New things to see?
Ashley goes, yes!
Oh dear. I'm gonna go, I riled her. I didn't mean to rile her.
Okay, so what's the plan?
The plan is we get close and I start speaking giant. You can leave me in by myself and you guys can be a surprise if you'd like.
I'm going to suggest that we don't walk straight in.
I would say get a lay of the land first before we
What if
decide to go in.
I could illusion myself as a giant, in addition to the... If they tried to shake my hand, it obviously would fall apart in a moment, but I could illusion myself as a giant and also speak giant.
That we can definitely use that. I
can't. I lied. I definitely cannot illusion myself as a giant. I lied. Never mind. I forget.
I like that idea less. But what our monk friend just said, what Faircard just said, I wholeheartedly agree with. We don't need to engage. We don't need to press in until we can actually have some more useful information other than they're big, there is 2 or more, they took the best fighters, and they took the cool thing.
Honestly, I would say if we want to go a more diplomatic route, we might want to send in somebody who has a bit of a silver tongue, and Furcard will look over to the bar.
So you want to send in the silver-tongued bard that would not be able to speak giant?
Well, with you as a translator, of course.
Figure guns.
How could this go wrong?
I mean,
I can see many ways this going wrong.
Oh, indeed. Okay.
Well, alright, so first of all, what is our goal? Are we trying to rescue the prisoners, or are we trying to get the thing back?
I think that we're just trying to understand what their purpose is and what they're doing and maybe foster a peace. Our goal is to not have to fight them.
And if we're trying to foster peace, we should bring them something.
Yeah.
We bring them the opportunity to have whatever it is that they seek, should they decide to work with us. That would be what we bring them. What would you like? 12 lambs to present to them on silver platters?
I have some lambs.
That's a start.
And she takes out her rations.
Dear child.
I'm trying to think.
I think if we don't, I think we need to come up with something tangible, because it already sounds like they are taking whatever they want. Guards, they're taking whatever they want, aren't they?
Yes.
I mean, they don't take... They don't... The only prisoners they take are representatives, like guards or negotiators.
Oh,
They don't take
Oh,
comments.
so going in there and speaking giant won't work.
Well,
Alright,
at least
that's good to
understand
know.
what they're saying. Should we decide to sneak in on the camp?
True.
Brainstorm. That's all this is.
I have an idea. What if...
Hold on.
So this is going back to the gnome. Before he left, he said he's not going to get paid. I'm assuming that if the guards are setting up the barricades to stop the giants, that the gnome was sent in to stop them from setting up the barricades. Why don't we just go and try and find the gnome?
Ooh, that's a wonderful idea.
That is a brilliant idea. My infernal friend.
Like that. Which way did he go?
You went into the tall grass, and you guys have been speaking for the last about 20 minutes, so it's difficult to tell where he would be.
He went into tall grass. I'm gonna hope that maybe he has left behind some trail, and I can do like an investigation check to see if I could like follow a trail of some sort.
You can make a survival check.
Ooh.
You're out in the wilderness,
That's only a plus
essentially.
one. Does everyone have a better survival check than me?
Does anyone want to...
I have a plus...
Go ahead.
I mean, mine's is +2, but I don't know if that's much better.
I have a +3.
Fair card. Then can I help you investigate for this? I'll help you need it.
Please do.
Yeah, you can get the help action.
Roll with advantage, brother.
All right.
Alright, so that is a non-nat 20.
20.
Any of you could try his natural one. Yeah. His footsteps are very obvious. It looks like he actually intentionally cut through grass and parted ways. Maybe tried to mess up with his footsteps to trick you guys, but accidentally took out his shoe off and stepped in the actual mud. Got caught and turned up and kept running. This gnome is very easy to track. And eventually,
Let's follow.
you come across. Yeah, eventually you come across what you hear "Oh no!" as you peek through the grass into a small clearing, seeing this gnome up to his chest in mud, sinking slowly, "Ow, ow, 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 ow."
I'm gonna turn to the. I'm gonna turn to Rin and be
How-
like, "You're the tallest of us. Go pull him out."
How heavy do you think the gnome is?
Pardon?
How heavy is the gnome?
Gnomes are pretty light. This guy stands about 3 feet tall.
I mean, if he weighs less than 5 pounds, I can mage hand him out.
Just go ahead and
Not
That's what I'm
really
saying.
Huh?
just
You're
gonna
not
go.
going to be able to mage him now.
Yeah.
Alright, then.
Gonna go ahead and use every D&D character's birthright, the 50-foot hempen rope. A small loop at the end and throw it out to him.
Okay, he grabs on. He's like, "Oh, thank you. I thought it was a goner." And as he's being pulled out of the mud, he's
Well,
like,
I'm gonna put my hand
"Ow."
on Rin to stop him from pulling him out.
I was just gonna hold
He's about he's up to his waist now, waiting. Just
I was gonna say, leave him in the mud until he does what we require of him.
Friend, we're here to help. Answer us truthfully, and you'll come the rest of the way out.
this is manslaughter.
No,
Well,
it's
you were
not.
already drowning.
No, this
If you leave me to die, it's what? He's looking very confused.
it's only manslaughter if your body's ever found, my friend. I hope you know that.
Make an intimidation check.
That's a 12.
It's enough. He's oh, he sees he's in a bad predicament. He's just holding onto the rope for dear life, realizing you could just let go at any given moment. Just okay, what do you want?
So, earlier we caught you with your little trap. Who's paying you to set up that trap?
Some noble guy. Okay, he's a big deal around these parts sometimes.
You don't have a name? Or where he... obviously, he had to give you the payment. So,
I'll give you a name.
a name. Okay, we can work with that. What's the name?
Giants like to call him Sort.
So he's
Sort.
the one who's brought the giants into these parts.
He's encouraged them to steal things for him, but cause some chaos now and then for his own entertainment. But I don't know, the giants are somewhat obliging. They kind of do their own thing.
And do you know where
At least
we might
the smaller ones do. The bigger ones just hurt people.
Do you know where
Yeah.
we might find him?
Probably in Kepjar. He's probably got a nice mansion or something in there somewhere.
So, how are you planning to get past the giants, then?
I'm pretty sneaky. I got some shortcuts to get there.
I'm gonna turn to Rin and go,
Well-
what do you think? Should we pull him out if he gets us to the city safely?
If he agrees to lead the way, we'll consider it.
DM, is any of this believable? Anything he's telling us, is it
Make an
believable?
insight check.
18.
You can recognize desperation in his eyes, but it doesn't look like he's willing to lie. But he's not trying to deceive you, but he's not giving you the most direct truth. But truth is still truth. He's giving you somewhat of a white lie.
Go. Everyone give me a moment. Go ahead. How far away is he at this point?
If you want to get close, he's about 10 feet He's about 10 feet from you. If you get any closer, you'll be entering the mud yourself.
Okay. Do I think I would be able to snatch on the rope hard enough to be able to grab him and hoist him up without him escaping?
Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, balls. 12.
Shockingly enough, you succeed.
Ooh.
As you, he's like being hung there, like he's on a noose, but just around his armpits, the rope's holding him, and he's just like kicking his legs, much like a squirming goblin or something. And he seems to like, okay, you're tall.
And just hold him, not tall, hold him up and bring him in to eye level, and just the barest, not fully using it, but just the barest transformation comes over my face, and my feet start to elongate, and I say, "Tell us everything."
Sorry, more discussions. I'm back. You were threatening him?
I was intimidating him, yes.
Encouraging strongly.
Whatever it was, he's intimidated.
We demand he tell us everything.
I can't do that because I'll end up in the ground either way.
Well, if it's either way, might as well tell us now.
Much better.
You would rather die sooner than later.
I'd rather die in this mud pit than at the hands of that guy.
Or
My barbarian friend, I have a question for you. How far do you think you can throw a gnome?
I'm not going to throw him. I'm going to tell him if he tells us and runs away, he doesn't have to deal with whoever.
Before he runs away, though, wouldn't it be more beneficial to have him, if he is as sneaky as he thinks he is, get us to the city safely?
Point of reference, we found him without trying very hard.
Very fair.
You can tell his shoe. You can see his shoes just sinking in the mud at this point, and his just bare feet, very hairy, just seems like being hoisted above. I think I'm losing the blood flow in my arm.
Yeah.
We'll talk quickly then.
What do you want to know that I can tell you enough without getting my life on the line?
How to get to the city safely and how to find this master of yours that pays you. That's a good start.
Sure. You want an address? I can give you an address.
Great. I'm going to pull out my pen and paper. I would love a home address for this gentleman that I can call upon.
Okay, it's in the center of the city. It's a massive mansion. You don't really need a number because it's the first thing everybody sees when you walk into town.
Secret entrance. Please.
Ooh, good call.
Secret.
One that only
Cellar, I guess?
Alright.
I mean, it's pretty big. I imagine there's a door or two they'd forget about.
How do you meet with him?
I meet with him at a specialized area. Typically, he's with like a guard or two of his own, with like his hired personal security, his personal army, really. And we meet in his garden outside within the fences. He lets me in. He pays me pretty good, and I am pretty compliant. And I get the job done most of the time.
When's the next time you're to meet with him?
Supposedly when I broke the last carriage.
So you're on your way to him now?
I was kind of pondering an excuse before I fell in the mud.
Do you have like a specialized knock or something that you use on the fence to let them know you've arrived?
No, I walk up, they do a little thing with their fingers, a little bit of arcane nonsense, and then they know it's me, and then I walk in.
I can work with that. I'm going to turn to Rin and say, I believe he should come with us.
Sounds good to me. You opposed?
At this point, I don't really know. Maybe I'm small enough that he'll forget about me. I guess you guys don't seem like you're going to.
And the possibility that an accident might happen to him, that would technically get you off the hook.
Accident for that guy. Ugh. Good luck.
Oh, I think you misunderstand, little gnome. We, and I'm going to like gesture to all of us, are the accident.
Listen, I've just recently broken a Manticore's nose and kneecapped my fifth.
Okay, this is not the kind of guy you want to mess with.
Nope.
Do we look like the type of folks you would like to mess with?
Neither were the Manticores, but
You look
they're
like the
dead
kind
now.
of people he would eat.
Well, wonderful. We shall go for dinner then.
Dinner party of 6?
You can tell that he has like a genuine sense of work. Like you can tell with your passive insights, you can actually guys tell that he foresees a fate for you that he would just not let anybody go under.
Aww.
It's not a complaint for his heart. It's just like out of pure animal instinct that he's like. It's like a lion will not let an elk go into such a dangerous zone that the lion itself would be like, yeah, don't do that. Like, why would you give the elk any information? It's so horrible that he just doesn't want anybody to go near it.
We're strategically in over our heads.
Look, you can reason with this guy, but if you're planning on throwing a punch or two, he'll snap you in 2 seconds. Plus, he's got political power on top of that.
I'm gonna like brush at my skirt and go, a lady doesn't throw a punch first. And then I'm gonna proceed to burp to undermine
I've
the
been
whole lady
punched
fact.
by a lot of. I've been punched by a lot of ladies. First,
What?
Yeah,
I'm gonna turn to him and be like, were you looking under their skirts? Like, what did you do?
not really. No, they were all smaller than me. Actually, they're halflings, so not really possible. Plus, it's not really something I do.
Well,
I have enough respect, I just don't have respect for myself.
That's really obvious now that you talk to us.
Thanks.
Okay.
Just throw me back in the pit.
I'm gonna turn to the boys and be like, I think that this is my opinion. I think that he should still come with us should we decide we need his services or have any questions.
I don't think he'll have any answers for us.
We can always let him go when we get closer to the city.
If we do that, he could actually just run to his boss.
But he said himself that he did not wish that fate upon us.
Aisling, you've been quiet.
I'm not much of a strategist.
It's fair.
Good.
So what are you guys, anyways? Bounty hunters?
Wrong place at the wrong time.
You remind me of the stories my mom used to tell me about cool people like you who just a bunch of ragtags thrown together.
I'm gonna look at my nails and be like, yeah, I'm cool.
Yeah. Cool-headed.
Oh.
Thrown would not be the word I would describe it.
Well, I guess there's no day like the present. I pulled back out my loot. I say we continue on. have him lead us, and when we get to the city walls, we can decide what to do with him then, and how we're going to engage this sort.
SORT.
All right, sort.
Does anyone think going back and talking to the B team back there might provide any information after talking to Tripwire here?
In regards to sort?
The city, sort.
I mean, I would imagine a city that has trolls that has giants on its outskirts would have city guards posted at the front gate. We can always turn back and ask. I don't mind.
Hey, you guys are gonna hand me into the guards now?
No, we're not turning you in. We need you still.
No. Good. I'm useful for the moment.
Join the club.
I mean, Rin, it's your call.
What's your name? I don't want to keep calling you Tripwire.
It's Tripwire.
What's your real name?
We're gnomes. We have really weird names.
At least he's honest about the weirdness. Do your parents give you names like that, or do you pick them when you're old enough to think if you're cool?
No, our parents name us. I mean, there's this guy I met once, like Gallus Humble Bumple. There's a lot of stupid names amongst the gnome community.
I'm gonna turn to Ashley, because I'm trying not to laugh really hard. I'm gonna put one hand on her shoulder and really quietly go, "His mother looked at him as a baby and went, yeah, fire."
Hey, sometimes people name you crappy things. I lower the rope and set him on the ground without letting go of the rope.
I'm gonna turn and ask him, Tripwire, are you planning on running off from us?
I'm probably gonna step on something sharp without my shoes, and looks like you guys got enough range on you to hunt me down, so probably not.
We might not need
All right. His shoes are gone, I'm guessing?
Yeah, they're...
His shoes are in the mud pit.
Are they visible, or are they...
No, at this point, they're gone.
All right. Reach into the bag and pull out just a couple strips of cloth and say, better than nothing. Here are your new shoes.
Yeah, thanks. He just ties this cloth around his feet. This is the second worst day of my life. Let's go.
Dare I ask you, Tripwire, what is the worst day of your life?
He thinks for a second.
Was it the day you were born?
Or was it the day you were
No, I don't
Tripwire?
remember that. I don't remember those ones. I don't know.
Okay.
Guess when my girl left me.
When your girl left you, oh, Tripwire.
It's nothing big. It's my own fault. Who cares? Let's go.
Rand,
Starts trotting with the rope tied around him. He's like, oh, god damn it, I'm on a leash.
Oh. No, I undo that.
Okay.
I take the rope off of him.
Okay.
You make me sad. Let's go.
Okay, so you're gonna pull out your lyre again. I suppose I'm growing
Why not?
slightly fond of it.
I see everyone's now enjoying the travel music, as they always do.
Very confident in yourself, are you not?
I have to be. I'm a bard. It's my living.
Respectable.
Oh,
I live in this.
I'm gonna turn to Farquhar and Ren and be like, I know we'll have to let him go eventually, but can't we keep him as a pet? He's mildly entertaining.
You're gonna have to feed him.
Listen, the man's self-confidence has already been put to rest. There's not much more we can do. Just let him be.
mean, I suppose he is a trap expert, considering his name is Tripwire. Would that not be helpful to have on hand?
I mean,
Try to say that you want this gnome with us.
That's what I do. I pick up strays. All right, so we're marching.
Eventually, yeah, okay. You begin marching, it's gonna be about 2 hours before you guys get there, I'd say. And is there anything you guys are talking about on the way?
I'm just asking. Again, I've got my paper out and I'm like studying the gnome, asking him like a bunch of random, like unnecessary questions.
What are you asking?
Oh, it's just stuff to fill out my paper, like things like, the average height of gnomes and their lifespans and
He's answering. Yeah, they got a good life. They got actually really good lifespan. A couple hundred years or so. I think 350.
350 years. Wait, so Tripwire, how old are you?
129.
Oh Lord. That reminds me, and that like makes me turn around to the rest of the group. If we're gonna be traveling together for a while, we should probably know more about each other. How old is
But
everyone?
why are you guys walking together? You guys like not die? Are you guys like die together, buddies? Or are you guys just like trying to make sure you don't get eaten in your sleep and increase your chances by hanging out with more people?
Long story about a few sphinxes and a mist and a waterfall.
Thanks. Is okay, sure.
There was also a wrong turn somewhere in the woods.
Mm.
It was at a tree named Albuquerque.
Very exquisite sign, by the way. Don't know if just put a sign on it, but very exquisite design.
Mm. So why you guys a traveling party? You guys seem like you can handle yourselves enough.
Perhaps.
I mean, scary guy here. He kind of indicates towards the group's barbarian. He's like, he looks like he can handle himself just fine. Some of you just look like you got around by blind luck, and other yous are kind of like me. You're scraping by.
Which
My
category
friend,
is it that I'm falling into, Tripwire?
You got your own thing going on.
my friend, do you not see this chiseled physique I have acquired for myself?
I think Rin was like, no, don't ask that question. You don't want to know.
This entire time, like
No, that was
the entire time since we left the cave, Farquhar has not had a shirt on. The only shirt he had was destroyed. So he's been walking around.
he's
barefoot
noticed,
since-
but your monk physique kind of makes it normal in a way.
God damn it.
While the conversation is going on, can I just continually keep an eye out for anything within sight?
Yeah, maybe something there.
Anything that might be large or scary or flying at us at incredible speeds.
Yeah, 11.
Nothing in the immediate proximity.
Glad I didn't like this in combat.
I feel like while everyone's walking, Aisling is just kind of humming the walking tune that Hikat was playing, and she's just like bouncing on her heels and just like, yay, adventure!
I'm gonna die. This is how I die.
Yeah.
And he's just moving forward. Yeah. During this time layer, it's starting to become more evening now, darker, as you approach the front gates of Kepjar. Large stone walls with many, many towers spanning this district trading town of Maje. Actually well known for its excessive trade and ever improving economy.
Wonderful. I'm going to turn to the group.
Very colorful.
Do we wish to seek out this evidently impressive mansion, or should we seek shelter for the night?
I feel like things are best done in the daytime.
Do we think shops are still open? I could still use for that health kit.
I doubt it.
If not, I foresee us being in town for a little bit.
I'm gonna turn to.
Not to mention,
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, not to mention, we could head to a tavern. There's always valuable information.
And valuable wine.
And drink.
Well,
Going
you
for a tavern, I could probably recommend you one.
Which one?
Yeah, it's called the Bent Nail.
Why do I imagine all sorts of ruffians are going to be in it?
Because
Yeah.
ruffians are everywhere.
It's my kind of place.
Wonderful.
Besides, it's a tavern name. There's worse tavern names. The
Wonderful.
Glistening Jade, perhaps.
Whichever you see
Like
fit.
you,
the worst tavern name I ever heard.
you come up with a weird name, and it's probably in that town.
Worst tavern name I ever heard was Grass Knoll.
I'm gonna turn to Tripwire and go, just lead us in whichever is the closest. Or has the best wine. I'd walk a little farther for good wine.
Can
And
you
your
afford it?
fate is 2 hours.
We'll settle halfway. We'll go to just a standard tavern, you know. Let's go. And he proceeds to move towards the front gates, which are open with about 4 guards on the outside and much more in the towers with crossbows ready, but not at the ready, just prepared. And he's just like, all right. Moving past the guards who don't really seem to give him much recognition at all.
I want to look at the guards as we walk past. Like, do they seem like exhausted? Like they're running low on soldiers, or do they seem like well rested?
Make an insight check.
Curious as to know the state of the city. What did I do with my dice? What in the world? Insight check. Insight check. It's not great. Ooh, 18. Not bad. Oh. I got
18?
Yeah.
You can tell that these guards are better equipped. They have this gold trim and black kind of metal along their armor. It seems as though these particular guards aren't probably like the local authorities so much as hired individuals.
Interesting.
Definitely higher tiered. So in terms of needing guards, it seems like a particular source is supplying them.
They look like mercs then. Is there regalia? Is the trim, any of that? Is that familiar to someone who has served as a merc?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay, I can deal with that. 21.
Ooh.
Looking at this the situation, these individuals, they're not of any hired hands that you recognize, but you can definitely tell that they would likely be the main army for whoever the sort is. They definitely seem, based off your knowledge of what they look like, likely a corrupt group of sorts, and well paid and well equipped, but horrible hearted. Not anyone you'd recognize, but something you can understand.
I'm going to lean in towards Hickates and I'm going to say, you know what well paid means? It means deep pockets. Should we ever get a chance to knock one of these bad boys out in an alley, that's some serious gold we might find on them.
Something a guard, sure.
Not gonna, I'm just saying. The opportunity presented itself.
Yeah, okay.
It might not be the best idea to cause any any unwanted attention to ourselves for right now.
I would never on our first night in town, perhaps on our last.
Welcome to Ketjar, capital of Mage.
Alright.
So,
Thank you, Dwyer.
willing to hang out with me for a while, or are you all ready to hit the hay?
I'll hang out.
I need a drink.
I need to sort through my notes.
To the tavern, then.
Yeah.
And to the tavern you go. And as you walk in, you can definitely tell this is a decent class. It's nothing. There's not a lot. There's a couple of ruffians you'd probably assume, but just some common folk in general. It seems like a popular tavern. This one's called the Slimy Snail, and upon entering, you can definitely tell that the theme of this restaurant is animal heads on the walls. Much law hunting.
Looking at the animal heads, are they all like standard animals, or are there anything of like interest?
You got some bear, you got some deer, you got some wolf. Nothing that really stands out. No.
Okay. I'm gonna like go to grab a table that's big enough for all of us then.
Okay. It's relatively empty in here. A couple of people here, but no one's taken the larger tables, it would seem.
Nice large table.
So, what exactly do you guys want from me at this point? I told you where you needed to go, and you want me to get you in to see this guy? I'm confused.
We haven't really worked it out yet. I'm gonna like look around the table at everyone and be like, what do you guys think we should do?
Well, I've run out of ideas.
I mean, it could be a possibility just to hold on to him for a little bit longer.
I would agree.
I think for tonight, what we want is for you to enjoy an ale, sit there, enjoy whatever room we get you, and then help us tomorrow morning. That's what we have.
I'm gonna like I'm gonna look at Rin and be like, oh, getting sassy now.
Getting? Because I literally have no other ideas.
A
Sure.
good glass of wine or ale and a good night's sleep shall provide fruitful in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like flag down some sort of serving wench to like bring us alcohol.
Common waiter approaches you as he looks over. You just final wine, simple wine, ale. What do you want?
How much for a bottle of finer wine?
10 gold.
Oh, that's all my gold. That's no bueno. How much for a bottle of
I could
simple
probably get 10 silver.
I could do that. 2 bottles, please.
Good. I'll be 2 gold then. He carries off before returning with 2 large green bottles of standard wine. Places them down, places a series of cups around you. Tripwire pours himself a shot and just kind of swigs it quickly. Well, here's to you guys, I guess.
Ashling is gonna sniff the bottles and she's like, "Ooh, what's this?"
Oh dear.
It's kind of like water, just you drink it faster.
It's not like water at all.
It's
Is it
better.
fancy water?
Yeah.
Crap. Is anybody watching us? I realize we're new. Is there anyone noticing our presence?
You notice a few eyes kind of glossing over you. Doesn't seem like you guys are the typical crowd that they'd be used to.
And what do we
No
notice?
one in particular, just random people.
What do we
No.
notice of the patronage of the tavern and like as we were walking in, like is the diversity of the races They're all typically human.
Typically human, but only by if you had to guess about like 20% human, then the rest of it is just like a variety of things. A lot of half elves, elves, even a couple dragonborn here and there.
Well,
I was gonna take like a really like big sip, like half of my glass of wine right now, and then put it down and look at everyone else and go, I curtsied at a sphinx today.
Yeah.
Like the realization of the day is like setting in, and I'm like, what did I do?
Ashley is going to take a cup and like pour the wine in there, and then she's going to take a sip and then like spit it out. And be like, what's this? This is disgusting.
I was just gonna like reach over and take her glass and go, well, clearly you don't want it then.
Wipe the wine off my face. And turn to Hefe and say, I imagine none of us have much in the way of funds. You think you could trade performance for rooms for us?
well, time to do what I do best. I pull out my loot. Which one would I'm gonna pull out my loot.
I'm gonna place like a cup in front of you and toss in like a couple, like 1 or 2 gold pieces, just to look like people have already started donating to you.
Well, my question is, do I actually have to sing?
No, just make a
All right,
performance.
good.
Start singing, toss a coin to your witcher.
So yeah, I start strumming my loot, and hopefully trying to gather the attention of everyone that's inside the tavern.
Okay. Yep. What do you get for a performance check?
Let's see. +4. 15.
You play a strong melody, and essentially a lot of people in here are at least relatively intoxicated. So to the point where some people are tapping their feet, nodding their heads, raising drinks to you. It's a good beat. It's definitely very upbeat in the way you're playing it. It seems to be liking to the crowd. I'd say for 5 of you, 6. Tripwire's gonna pitch in a little bit. He's like, I have to pay for my own room anyways. Yeah, I'd say you guys would make just enough to earn your keep for the night.
Well done, Trent.
Feel pretty accomplished.
Well done. Thank you.
I'm going to imagine that during this performance, I probably had a couple more glasses of wine, and I'm going to just be sitting there going, keep playing. I want to dance. When's the last time anybody's danced? Like, I'm just getting more and more, like, relaxed from drinking.
Are you alright?
Yes, because I had my special water, and you did not.
Your cheeks look a little bit red.
It's because I'm feeling happy.
Hardcore's going to lean into the Barbarian. At what point should we stop her from drinking?
I'm gonna
Probably now.
I'm gonna go reach for like the last of the bottle, and I'll like just start trying to hold it up to my lips.
Like a con
Ashling is
A
gonna.
con save,
Oh.
Jesus.
Apparently several glasses earlier.
$14.
You're definitely drunk, but you don't choke or anything.
Oh, great.
It's kind of like
I'm glad that choke
you
was on
don't
the
choke.
table.
You're not like coughing up and like actually in the process of in danger of your life, but you're definitely really tipsy.
Oh, good.
Kind of swaying back and forth a little bit.
I'm gonna like hold the bottle in my hand and start pointing at like the very limited patronage. I'm gonna go, which of these gentlemen do you think would want to dance with me?
I'll dance with you.
There you go.
You know what, little air sprite thing? Why not? gonna get up and like twirl around.
So Ashley will get up, and then she's just kind of like, I don't know how to dance.
I'm gonna turn to you. Go. Just start spinning.
So she just starts like spinning, and she's just like going around and round and round.
With some direction. Eventually, what a half-orc individual stands up and he's like actually like catches you and says, "Perhaps I can lead you." And he actually kind of shows you a few steps with the movement of dancing. He's just like, "Okay, now you try like this." And as far as you can tell, he's just genuinely trying to help you out. He's
Ashley got a
just
boyfriend.
wearing a very large top hat, and he has a big vest over his shoulders. He's like, so he's just like, this is how you do it. My name is Franklin, by the way. Sorry to bother you.
I'm just gonna flap back on the chair, like in between. I'm gonna try to flap like in between where I think the bard and the monk are, and go. I think Ashley got a girlfriend or got a boyfriend.
Ashley gets like really flustered, and like she's not used to people like touching her, so she's just like, as he's like trying to like pull her around and like teach her these dance movements. She's like kind of stumbling around, and then she'll eventually get it, but she's like very embarrassed, and her cheeks are very red.
He's like, I'll stop bothering you now. I hope I hope I haven't intruded.
No, you're fine.
Thank you. You're very. To you as well.
And she will immediately go and sit down and like put her head down and be like, "Don't look at me."
Chip Warrior just sips.
You know, you never really know who you're traveling with them. We all sit back with them together.
So
And
true.
Yeah.
it's especially true when you just met.
There you
You guys really are like those people in the stories.
Not saying.
go. Ragtag bunch of assholes.
People who came together and became friends easy, but had a common goal even if it wasn't said out loud, you know? It was, have you guys never heard of the first rodeo?
The first rodeo?
No.
No, please do tell. I would love to hear. I love to hear stories.
Long time ago. There was this group of ragtags, and they came together and they fought horrible monsters and saved the realm from a horrible evil. It's always in children's books, but they appeared one day.
The first rodeo. Was that a name
Yeah.
given to them or one they chose themselves?
It was given to them, supposedly by a tiny dragon.
How tiny? One that you could put on your shoulder as a pet.
Oh, yeah.
I want one of
I don't
those.
think a dragon would like to be a pet.
A
Mm,
companion.
apparently. Some dragons like sweets. You never know.
Oh, good. That's a good thing to know.
Bigger ones like gold and will eat you, though, so be careful.
I'm gonna like turn to whoever's sitting on my left and go, remind me to pick up sweets tomorrow to entice a tiny dragon.
They say this. They say tiny dragons pass on to their descendants stories about the first rodeo, and that they always find a group to fiddle around with.
Wonderful.
Who says?
He kind of reaches into his pocket and pulls out a scroll. My grandfather gave me this,
May I take a look?
and I can't lose it, so he places it in front of you.
I'm gonna open it.
Don't lose it. He gets up and he walks out of the bar.
Follow him just to watch.
You're gonna follow him?
I'm gonna go to the door and watch which way he goes.
He seems to walk towards an alleyway just right to the left side of the bar, and you can tell little puffs of smoke that he must be in the corner.
Smoke break.
And eventually you can just hear his feet pat off, and you can tell he's greeting someone down the alleyway before he makes his way out.
I'm gonna cast message. It's a cantrip because Rin walked to the door, and I'm gonna like whisper to Rin, should we follow him?
Follow me. I will go to, as quietly as I can, I will go to the edge of the alleyway and look down it.
All right, so I'm gonna get up and take Rin's place at the door to watch after Rin, and then
Make a stealth check.
Cool. 24.
oh yay!
Ooh.
That cool had me scared for a second. I thought that was like a nat 1. Cool.
Oh no.
Moving slowly and carefully, you do not believe you're detected as you're moving down. And you notice it gets steamier in these alleyways, like a lot of smoke coming from the ground, but from no source, no vent. And as you move down, you see tripwire among a series of animal cages with like chickens and other small assortments of creatures. And he's sitting down beside a figure wearing large leather and just a strange mask over its face. Much like it reminds you of an elephant, along with a tube extending from it and going into the chest, glass eyes, and a leather hood over his head. As he looks at Tripwire, they seem to be speaking to each other.
Okay. Can I hear anything from here?
You can hear anything.
What do your elephant ears hear?
Yeah, you can hear.
All right. What are they saying?
So you can hear this mass figure. So you think you found something. It's like, yeah. I think I found them. So, and how should this concern me? Because if you don't want to talk to Brad about it, then that's your own problem.
Brad.
Did you say Brad?
Yep.
So automatically I know we're dealing with someone wearing chubbies and Sperry's. Okay.
And like a salmon-colored baseball cap.
I hate him already. Thank you.
Brad.
Bradley.
Not Bradley, just Brad. It's like your mother
You're
named you
supposed to
Chad instead of Chadwick.
You are supposed to cause issues over on Reggie Road. Yeah, and I'll do that. And how are you going to do that? I lead them there. They do what they need to do. Giants crush them. I get out with what I get. Then I pay off my debt. Get it? Yeah. Well. Here's to the death of the newest rodeo. They clink glasses.
Head back in.
As you like pass me through the doorway, I'm gonna say, "What did you hear?"
I'll tell you when there's fewer people. It'd be easier to tell you in a private room.
Wonderful. I suppose we should find somewhere to sleep now.
Oh, our friend got us rooms here.
Oh, that's right. I was dancing.
And mostly intoxicated.
Oh, that reminds me, the scroll that he gave me, and I'm gonna like pull it out.
You look to the scroll and you see like the outline, like a cartoon, just like a dots of like where it was, and it is not there. As you turn your head slightly, you can see a quick slither of blue and purple as a tiny creature holding the scroll on its arm looks back at you, smiles as it spreads its wings, and then
Mage hand! No, I mage hand for the scroll back! No!
make a wisdom saving throw as it reappears in another corner. This what appears to be a tiny dragon looks at you.
20!
Hello.
It's 20!
20?
It's a dragon!
20 does succeed. You notice it kind of frowns as you withstand its some sort of magical effect that was altering your body for a second. And, well, I was hoping to work with some people who were better than this. This tiny dragon disappears yet again with the scroll in hand.
Wait, no, I got a 20. I succeeded. I want my tiny dragon.
You succeeded the save,
Uh,
so you're not affected by polymorph.
Great. I wanted to mage hand that scroll right back from him. Wait, I'm gonna call out. I have sweet things.
You hear crawling on the desk, and this tiny dragon appears again with the scroll in hand. Call me he.
Hello, he.
Sweets for a scroll?
I have sweet things, but if you come back in the morning, I'll have sweets for you.
That scroll until then.
Wonderful. I'll see you in the morning, bright and early, at dawn.
Bright and early at dawn.
I'm gonna run
If
back
you
to
live
the
that
table.
long.
You guys, I found a tiny dragon.
Disappears.
Are you sure we're with a tiny dragon and just not a dragonborn?
Well, I think it was a tiny dragon, and I succeeded on the polymorph, so...
You are not turned into a mouse, no.
So it's not like I was distracted by other things happening. I believe it was a tiny dragon. It wanted sweets. That's what the gnome said, is something about the sweets. You
I
guys-
thought he was making it up.
I thought so too, but apparently not. I found a tiny dragon who wants sweets in the morning. I'm gonna run up to the bar counter and ask the guy that's working, hey, do you have sweets?
There's a code word for something?
No, legitimately sweets, like candies.
Oh, no. When it's a bar, we don't tend to have a lot of those.
And
You guys probably head to your rooms soon. Night's fallen and old Bessie's going to come out on the roads.
Who's old Bessie?
This big metal bull thing runs through the streets. Security measure. Doesn't stop for anything. Doesn't stop for apple carts. Doesn't stop for a baby carriage. Nothing. You get in its way, you're toast.
Oh, lovely. Well, I'm gonna turn back to the group. To sleep then.
Yep.
Good night.
all right.
You all head to your rooms. You retire for the night. You eventually hear the faint steps of Tripwire as he enters his own room, and small snoring emanating. As you all fall asleep, some of you think of the dragon, some of you think of the giants, some of you think of the sphinx. But none of you dream for what's going to happen the next day.
Oh
That's where we're going to leave the session.
no.
Oh,
Oh, cliffhanger.
It was fun.
that was fun.
All right.
Congratulations, combat went well, roleplay went well. I think everything went really good.
I think this was great.
I think this is a excellent start to something that's going to be really fantastic, and I want to say thanks to you guys. I want to say thanks to all the people viewing this, and I just want to say this was really fun. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I must say, playing a bar is really weird.
Yeah.
I've played bards in the past, and I ended up getting my head cut off. So, good luck.
I'm finally glad you're playing a monk.
I'm just thankful I was playing the Barbarian with D12 hit dice and 35.
It's good to have those D12s.
Our own personal juggernaut.
It's a fun subclass.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. Next time I'll actually use Bardic Inspiration. I didn't know that was a thing.
I thought
That's okay.
Sometimes I was wondering, like, are you going to use Vertic Inspiration? But I
Like,
wasn't going to, like, say that.
like legitimately after we finished both of the Manticores, I was like looking through my feats and traits. I was like, oh, this would have been useful. So,
Well, you guys caused the Manticore to belly flop onto cement and a whole lot of other things. So I think this has been. I'm not sure why I'm holding a pair of scissors. I think this is really fun.
You
This is
succeeded your
really.
intimidation roll.
I see. I think this has been really great. Again, thanks to you guys. Thanks to everybody in chat, and I hope to see you guys real soon in the next episode.
Yeah, thank you guys.
As for now,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to head out.
Yeah.
And see you guys around. Bye.
For those of you watching at home, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Come back next week, same time, to see what happens next week. Toodaloo.
Ta-ta.
Peace.
Same bat time, same bat place.